Hello, everyone, and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 132, according to Twitch, being recorded live on September 5th, 2020. I'm your host, Taylor.
I'm Matt.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Anthony, of course.
And we, of course, have... What?
Of course.
No, like,
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, of course. We, of course, have Anthony here, and, of course, a wonderful show lined up for you, of course. And, anyway... All right, all kidding aside, we like to kick off the show every week with talking about what we've been playing this past week. So, Anthony, let's just jump back to you real quick. What have you been playing roughly this past week?
Well, this week I've been playing a decent amount of stuff. Played some Apex.
Okay.
Of course, I usually just like to hang around with that quite a bit. So I've been playing some of that. Nothing really to report on that front. I still suck. Also picked up, it was like $7. The Brothers in Arms trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Like it's their old World War II.
Matt, what are you doing?
I'm fucking with my light. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Anyway.
Good job. To pick them up, I've almost finished the first one. It is it's interesting.
Brothers in Arms, this is, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
If you haven't played these games, basically the difference between this or something like Call of Duty or Battlefield, like old Call of Duty or Battlefield, basically you command a squad and kind of like tell them where to go, what to do, and they can die and they remain permanently dead. Depending on the mission, 90% of the time they get resurrected.
Oh, okay.
Jesus compels them.
The power of Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting game. It's an interesting concept. The first one is very rough because it's obviously like the first one in the trilogy. It's not very story oriented. It's just kind of like run here, do this for no reason. So,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, they're enjoyable for what they are. They're pretty enjoyable. They were like 2002, 3, I think. So they're oldish. Might be 2004. They're oldish World War II games. Aside from that, I have also played a tiny bit of Sword and Shield. Just still running through the story of that.
Okay. The Pokemon game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
I haven't really switched a whole heap. Like played my Switch a whole heap as usual. That's me in a nutshell. I never finish games at this point. Just like I don't think I've finished a game in like 4 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, I know. We're a great gamer. But yeah, aside from that, that's kind of it for me. Not a massively busy week in the gaming department. I've also played some Red Dead 2 as well. Just been slogging through that.
Okay.
So it's just stuff that I've kind of been playing previous weeks. Haven't really picked anything new up, like of note. But yeah, that's kind of it for me, I'd say.
Okay. Matt, how about yourself?
Well, I've been playing one game in particular kind of above all, and I actually wrote a review about it that's live on the site. It's Dreamscaper. It's a roguelike game, to kind of put it in one way. It's been a fun game, actually. It's been, for an indie game made by 2 guys, really well made.
I didn't know the dev team was only 2 people. Huh.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's like the story is, it's just 2 guys, like, was done with the AAA industry and went on their way to make their own game.
Okay.
And I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I enjoy like roguelike games, and this has how do I put it? Souls-like mechanics for combat.
Okay.
Sure.
So it's a good time. It's a good time. If you want to find out more about it, you could go over to culturegaming.com and read that review.
Thanks for
Oh,
the
this is
show.
cool. I like the art
Always.
style a lot on this.
Yeah, I watched him
Yeah,
like play some of it through Discord a few nights ago, and it was like, oh wow,
It's
pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like for an indie game, like I say, it looks really good. The sound design's on point, and that combat, I can't complain. I could never once blame the game for any mistakes. I could just only tell it's my fault.
Okay. What game is it called? I'm sorry.
Dreamscaper.
Dreams.
This is on PC or
PC. It's on Steam right now, early access. Doesn't feel like an early access game.
Okay.
I think it's on other platforms as well.
Probably, but that's the only one that I played it on.
Steam.
And they pro tip that, as usual, for a Souls-like game, they always recommend playing with a controller.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Oh, it's only like $20. Huh.
Yeah, it's I'd recommend it.
Okay.
If you want to find out why I'd recommend it, go read the article.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right,
I've
Andrew.
just been enjoying the game so much.
Andrew, what you got?
I've been really busy with like how we went back into work this week, so it's been a mess for me.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Kind of wild. So like a lot of games where I don't have to put a lot of brain power in. Hearthstone, like Battlegrounds, which is like the
Oh.
like auto chess kind of one,
Yeah.
auto battler.
Sure.
It's like super easy, just like pop up and like zone out for whatever a couple games.
Mhm.
That so back on that, they had a recent update, so yeah, they keep messing with it. It's okay. It's one of those love-hate relationships. And then the new game I've been playing though a little bit of last night was the Tony Hawk 1+2 or 1AM2, which is a remake from the ground up of Tony Hawk 1 and Pro Skater 1 and 2, and from like 1997 or whenever those games came out.
Sure.
It is extremely good and like very nostalgic. Like I remember like when I pulled it up, just looking at the skaters, I was like just had a big smile on my face because like I haven't thought of names like Jeff Rowley or like Jamie Thomas who are skaters forever. So like seeing that like reimaginized and like really nice looking was fun. And like seeing the environments that I remember like looking way better, you know, not just looking like mashed potatoes or whatever you play PS1 stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know. So it looks really good. It feels really nice. I don't remember what the old games feel like, honestly, because it's been so long. But they feel like from what I remember, so I guess that's good.
Okay.
I like that. I don't know. There's some parts I feel like that don't hold up. It's like, so you can basically pick like not a career, but like I forgot what they call it, but you pick either 1 or 2, and you can kind of go through the levels and like do the goals. And a lot of the goals are just like, hey, collect this or smash into this. And
Sure.
I don't know if it was me because I was like tired last night when I played it. I was like, I just don't want to smash into, you know, five signs and then collect 5 of this popcorn bags. You know, like it's just like, and I get why they do it so you can explore the level and understand the level.
Sure.
But I don't know. Part of me is like, that's my least favorite part of that game is like doing the tasks that aren't like fun, which is like the collecting stuff for me.
Collect the skate. I just realized I actually have the
Nice.
Oh wow.
The
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
talk about some retro stuff
The
right
blue,
there.
the
Yeah.
nice blue one too.
Yeah, the nice blue one. Oh, that game was fun.
It's
Could never
good.
figure out how to beat it like halfway through. I was like, I guess that's as good as it gets for me.
It's it's extremely good. I think.
Yeah.
I do like the goals that are like, oh, do this gap because that's like, oh, you're trying to figure out where this gap
Trickles.
is, and
Yeah.
you know, nose grind this rail or whatever.
Mhm.
And that's fun. And I don't know, I could see myself getting really into just like running a course over and over and over, trying to get a high score.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if I can play all the levels yet if I don't unlock them. I have to double check. I've only put like 2 hours into it, so like if I don't play through the campaign, I'm not sure I could play the last level. So I have to double check on that one. But it's fun,
Yeah.
and it's like $40. It's on PS4. It's on Xbox One. It's on Epic Game
Not
Store.
on, oh, okay, never mind. I didn't know it was on Epic Game Store. I was like, not on PC? Are you kidding me? Okay, anyway.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
I have the Epic version. It runs well enough on my kind of like mid-range PC. I
Okay.
had some
on
hitching.
Apple.
I had to like turn off like VSync and stuff like that to get it
Yeah.
going. You know.
Sure.
But it runs well. And it's very enjoyable. The music is fantastic. They have like basically the old soundtrack, which is really good.
Nice.
And they added like some new stuff, some stuff I'm not familiar with. Some of them are hits, and I don't know what they are. I'm like, oh, this is a good song to skate to. Some of them, you know, you can. And what's really cool too, this is like a really weird thing, but you can just skip a song by pressing the right thumbstick in. So if you're skating, you're just like, oh, this song isn't good. You boom, skip song. Like you don't even have to, you don't have
Nice.
to mess with it. I don't know. It's just like this weird thing that, like, I don't
That's-
know. For me, like the music in Tony Hawk is so synonymous,
Yeah.
right? So like, if you can just skip at like a whip like that quickly, it's quite nice.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean. When I was playing this one on the N64, as far as I'm aware, there's no way to skip a song. So it's like
Mhm.
You were
If you
stuck
got-
with
you-
it?
the
Yeah.
cards that you dealt with is what you got.
You might be able to
So-
like turn one off, but you weren't able to like skip it completely. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
you
okay.
skip one as far as I'm aware.
like mid run. Oh, and I should mention, so in those old games, you couldn't do stuff like reverts, which would let you combo out of like a vert thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No.
oh, you do like a thing in the air, you would revert. You couldn't do that in like the original one, but they basically taken stuff from like the old games and retroactively put them in the first ones. So you can revert, you can manual out of everything basically. Which makes sense and feels right. You know, like it feels right in your brain, but in reality, you couldn't actually do that stuff
Oh, okay.
in those first games. So it like kind of adds. It just makes it feel
Yeah, sure.
so much like you remember, which is awesome. It's a really good collection.
Good.
I think if you are nostalgic for those games, you should definitely pick it up.
Does this only make you want Skate 4 more?
They're different. I love me some Skate.
Okay.
But it does make me like, oh man, Skate is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like
But
during this
Tony Hawk-
entire segment, all I'm thinking about was like, man, I really wish Skate 4 will come out.
So like it's different than Skate obviously because like
That's-
Skate, you're not comboing a bunch. But
Yeah.
if you like the way like skating feels like and looks, like you're just seeing the board kind of move in really nice ways, right?
Mhm.
And like I remember I just did like a hard flip and I was like, man, I forgot how sick skateboarding is. You know, like
Okay.
just like doing like a hard flip into a note like into like a board slide or something. I'm like, yeah, all
Yeah.
right, I like it. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. It's a good collection.
Okay.
Do they still have the tapes in there?
They do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
That
think
was
they've
always
actually
one of the most annoying parts.
Yeah. I kind of am okay with the tapes because there's like one secret tape and it's kind of mysterious. It's just
Yeah.
like the ones where it's like find the popcorn bags and I'm like, I don't want to do that really.
Yeah.
But it's good, you know. If you like that collective stuff, then you'll really enjoy it. Then, I think.
Okay. Do y'all
Nice.
remember like that Disney skate game that they released on like the PS2 or something like that? No, just me. Okay.
No.
Disney skate game?
Yeah, it's like there's this one like main overworld and everything, right? And then it's just like you go to like different. It's basically like Kingdom Hearts but skateboard in the sense of like there's like this one central hub and everything, but then like you can go to like different Disney franchise worlds and everything. So it's like there was like a Toy Story world and you could skate around like the world of Toy Story and stuff like that.
Oh my god, hold on. It's
Dang.
Disney Extreme Skate Adventure.
Yeah, I think something like
is
that.
What it's called.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh my god, there's like Woody on a skateboard.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
What the heck is this?
This looks really weird. I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's kind of funny.
Anyway.
So weird.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cool like customization stuff. You can make your own character. It comes back. You can unlock a bunch of boards. You know, they added a progression system, so you kind of feel like you're not just
Fascinating.
doing nothing.
Okay.
Like
There's secret
just
character. Apparently,
Tarzan.
Jack Black is in the game.
Yeah.
I'd
So-
believe it.
He's the Officer Dick character.
Yeah. Back when Tenacious D was still relevant too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's in this new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he was like very involved in like. I mean, he did a couple of like videos and stuff relating to like Skate 1 and 2, the remake.
Oh, okay.
mm,
So I think he was kind of involved with like development and stuff a little bit.
just like advertising and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
that makes sense. Then. But that's been it for me. Just kind of, it's been a busy week.
All right. Well, this past week for me, pretty much just flight sim all the way through when I have had time to game. The game is really, really fun. I like it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like therapeutic or whatever because I can just set like autopilot and everything, just trying to have the like sound of the engines going. And it's like if I'm on a longer flight, I can just like tab out and watch like YouTube or like anime or something. And yeah, I actually finished an anime or not finished, almost finished an anime series the other night while playing flight sim. So that's pretty
Just
fun.
like any good pilot, just pop some anime
Yeah.
on while you're
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, not
Quick
1,200
fade
miles
out.
to go. I'm just gonna watch a couple episodes of Demon Slayer here. Yeah. Matt, you have the
Really?
most like disappointed look on your face ever.
I don't know. It's something weird to me about like, oh yeah, I'm playing a game, and then I'm just gonna disconnect for the game for like 3 hours, but I'm still playing it.
Yeah.
It's just I'm like, really? I don't.
I mean, you've
I don't
struck
get
your
the
Bastion
craze.
Eve.
Yeah, but at least like I'm doing something proactive.
You're telling me that it's like while you're orbiting around, just like F1ing your Oracle cannons, you don't just like.
I know I'm
net
getting
flips
paid
out?
for it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. But
Is there
yeah.
like an equivalent of like a CB radio for like pilots? Like, they can just like connect to the internet and just chat with
Basically low. Oh, well,
each other. I bet you that exists. You could like, it's a.
I
weird
mean,
thing.
Probably.
there's like a so in Flight Sim multiplayer, like Flight Simulator X multiplayer. They've got that kind of built in. I think connected to TeamSpeak or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would
Basically,
make
whatever server you join, you
Yeah.
then kind of join that TeamSpeak channel.
that's kind of fun.
If you, I'm just gonna like, if you are into like flight sim stuff, I'd recommend you check out Air Force Proud 95. He's got some hilarious.
Yeah,
stuff.
I love that
He's got-
YouTube channel.
yeah.
He's pretty good.
He's hilarious. Like he does air traffic control and like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Mhm.
Pretty funny what he does.
Have you sprung for the Thrustmaster yet? Or,
No, I have
yeah.
not. I have not. I'm still just piloting on a MITS on mouse, keyboard, and Xbox controller.
I mean, I have a stick. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
And the whole like I don't know, my whole like control scheme, it kind of works until I need to adjust flaps for either landing or takeoff, because then I need to like quickly take my hands off the controller and do function 8 on my keyboard and everything. It's like I need both hands for it because 60% or something like that. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
to lower the flaps coming to land. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much been it. I haven't had a whole hell of a lot of time to game, but when it has been, it's been Flight Sim. And yeah,
Nice.
I did an 800-mile flight this morning from Arizona here down to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, which is a big like
Nice.
vacation spot. Everything
Yeah.
pretty fun. My family and I have gone there a few times. So anyway,
how long did that take you?
it was like 2.5 hours.
So you did like double time.
I.e., 2.5 hours of Demon Slayer.
No.
Oh, I guess they're pretty close. Arizona's pretty far down there.
Yeah. So, no, it's like I cleaned the house during that time. Once it got up to like cruising altitude and whatnot, and it was like
Goodness.
stable, I just cleaned the house. Yeah.
Is your pilot speaking? I'm just gonna clean my house and do some errands really quick, and we'll get back to you soon.
I'll be back in about 2 hours for landing. Have a good time.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
Yeah,
depending on
partying in Puerto Vallarta soon.
depending on what aircraft you're in, you can probably auto land as well.
I don't think
all
in
that
the some of the autopilots are still kind of glitchy depending on what aircraft you got. So it's like I know still with
Oh,
like
just
the
like in real life.
right, yeah. So I know specifically on like the 737s and the Airbuses that are in the game, which is a little bit too real. The autopilot is really, really glitchy. Some people have reported just like an infinite climb bug with the autopilot, so it's like that plane just constantly
like
wants
in
to
real
keep
life.
rising. Other people have reported the exact opposite of that, like a just like nose down for the evening sort of thing, you know? So, yeah, when I was playing around with one of the like big jetliners and everything, it gave me the bud where it attempted to do a barrel roll.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the same as Flight Sim X as well.
Okay.
Like they had problems of like, if you're flying a 747 or something,
Yeah.
it would just nosedive straight to the ground. Like flat out, like barrel, like corkscrew straight into the ground. And it's
Jesus.
like, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's very
That's what I
similar to
thought,
what
though.
happened to me. I was just like, oh, okay, well, what is going on? And if you know
feel
anything
like-
about like flight mechanics, you should know that a airliner like that should not be able to do that, or
I
at the
feel
very
like,
least should not do that.
They've imported a lot of assets from Flight Sim X to 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the like autopilot and stuff like that is imported.
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah.
So yeah, because like all of the flight controls are basically identical, like auto key mapping and stuff to where they were in Flight Sim X.
Yeah.
So it's there's a lot of stuff that's similar.
Have you ever like walked away and then come back and realized you crashed?
No, that's not happened to me yet.
Okay.
I find that
That'd be
it's just
really-
like if there's
that'd
gonna be
be
a
really
glitch, it'll happen as soon as you turn the autopilot on, not like in the middle of it or whatever. So as soon as I turn the autopilot on and things are like still deja vu, then we're pretty good. Yeah, we're pretty good for the rest of it. Yeah, and then the other big like campaign, so to speak, that I've been doing in flights and outside of like these like one-off flights to places is like I've been doing a tour of like Asia. So I've gone from Beijing to Shanghai to Wuhan to Hong Kong to whatever the hell the capital, or over to Hanoi and Ha Long Bay over in Vietnam there, whatever the hell the capital of Laos is. Then I visited like this northwestern part of Thailand where there's really cool white Wat structure and everything, though it's old and everything. And then over to Bangkok, and where I checked out like kind of the city and everything. And I'm just trying to chilling over to Bangkok. Next time I continue the little route, I'm gonna go to Cambodia, check out the Angkor Wat and everything, stuff like that, and then the capital of Cambodia, and then down to Malaysia, and then down to Singapore, and then down to Indonesia, then into the Philippines, up through Taiwan, over to South Korea, and then
You got it all mapped
over into Japan. Yeah, I have like a little way of doing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Then I might tour like the Middle East or Europe next. Not sure yet, but I still want to get through Asia first.
Do you mean tour by like setting it for 3 hours then doing something else completely?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like literally doing that, just playing another game.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's like whenever doing like my tour of Asia thing, it's like I'm actually like paying attention to the landscape and everything, but it's just like flying from like Arizona to Mexico. There's nothing but desert and mountains, you know. It's like I live it every day. Okay, it's nothing new. It's nothing new.
Wow, even more desert.
Yeah, wow. And if you look out the right window, we see another mountain by more desert.
You might see a cactus or something.
If you look real closely, you can find a roadrunner or a tumbleweed. Yeah. Anyway, we should move on. We spent like 30 minutes on the intro segment already. So, it's amazing how time flies when you're having fun. Huh?
All right.
I said it happens.
Yeah.
And then I
Anyway.
heard you make a pun.
Yeah. Anyway, so the main site is, of course, cultureofgaming.com. There you can find the latest gaming news, reviews, opinion pieces, etc. Wait, what was the pun?
Time flies.
Oh,
You're
I didn't
having
even
fun.
think. I didn't even think about it. Okay.
Ooh.
Boo.
That was a pretty bad pun.
Yeah. Okay. It wasn't intentional. Sorry. Anyway.
Sorry, I enjoy puns. So
Well,
I
that's
do
good.
them.
I just didn't even notice until you pointed it out. Okay. Anyway, so the main site is sportsfilterofgaming.com. There you can find the latest gaming news, reviews, opinion pieces, etc., etc. And then on the right-hand side sidebar of the main site, you can find a link to our community Discord where you can chat with everyone you see on the podcast, as well as pretty much all of the other COG staff. So hit them up over there, or hit us up over there about whatever we talked about in the podcast. If we've written something, hit us up about that, or just gaming or general conversation. It's fine. Also, pretty much open to talk to anyone about anything over there. So, yeah. And then we have two Facebook pages, one for the main site and one for the podcast. They are facebook.com/the Network and facebook.com/PowerUpPodcast, respectively. Twitter @the Network, Instagram @cultureofgaming, twitch.tv/cultureofgaming, where you can find the Power Up Podcast recorded live in video format every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then if you'd like to check out our YouTube channel, where it's mostly just a video repository of previously recorded podcasts, you can check that out over at youtube.com/cultureofgaming. Mike, who's been on this podcast quite a few times, has recently posted a video about like his thoughts on Avengers and everything. It was more topically relevant before the game actually came out, so might be a little bit late if you don't watch it like right now or whatever. But anyway, it's just, I think a lot of the things from the beta they was talking about still kind of hold true to the actual release game. So anyway, so go check that out, as well as, of course, the video repository. And if you'd like to find the audio repositories of all the previously recorded podcasts, go on over to wherever the hell you really get podcasts nowadays. So whatever it's like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Podcast Addict, Podbean, etc., Spotify. You know, you can check us out, and the episodes are usually pretty up to date there. So yeah. Anyway, oh, excuse me. There's like a part of my throat that just got really, really dry all of a sudden. I was like, oh, okay.
He's got the Rona.
Oh no. Hold on.
Hey, drink some water, boy. Huh?
Yeah, I'm
I
reaching
need
for it right now.
Water break.
I've got hay fever, which is like
It's like allergy.
you guys. Yeah, basically it's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like kind of coughing and like dry throatedness as well.
Okay.
I don't have corona. It's all
Valley
good.
fever.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure. And besides, I can't give it to you anyway. Internet transmitted. Is that the thing? No.
Yeah.
Really.
I swear I've seen like an article or whatever that like debunked myths about corona, and it was just like you can't get corona by interacting with people online or something like that. And I was just like, what? Does that even need to be said?
Transferring only.
Yeah.
Or-
Come on. Look.
Giving
If
you
you
the
upload a
virus or whatever.
file,
Mhm.
yeah, look. If you upload a file and download it, your computer can get corona,
Mhm.
and your computer can spread it to you.
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me. I don't know about you.
Computers get viruses all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Andrew's spitting facts here. Okay.
We are being very sarcastic, by the way.
Yes, you cannot actually get corona from anything computer related, like digitally. Actually, I'm not even going down that little path of logic there. Okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Anyway, that is completely off topic and derailing. Anyway, so our first news story for this week, which you'll probably be able to see some wood chips in these news stories because we are really scraping the barrel here on these ones. All right. So
That's pretty good.
thank you. All right.
Get splinters.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so I don't have the fancy like article view thing set up for
Aww.
That's
for
alright.
for people. So anyway,
Disappointed.
yeah, our first article is coming to us from Forbes, and it is about the Super Mario, because Mario is in fact Super Mario 3D All Stars Collection. Let's see here. So Nintendo announced this the other day. It is obviously going to Switch, and it is a collection that comprises of 3 Mario games, and which are Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy, the first one. That's it. That's all you
did.
did.
I thought it was going to Game Boy Advance.
Huh?
I thought it was going to Game Boy Advance.
No, although they certainly looked like they could fit on Game Boy Advance. Let me tell you. Yeah. So yeah. Reaction to this has been somewhat mixed on anyone that's not like a super hardcore like Nintendo fan and everything, right? Just because it doesn't look like Nintendo has done anything to improve the fidelity of each game or whatever. I wouldn't even call these a remaster. Like, I wouldn't even call it a remaster
They're
or remake
ports.
or anything. Yeah, there's
They're
just
ports.
pretty much just straight up ports of each game. It
They
costs.
messed with the resolution a little bit, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they've adjusted that much, but the models are the exact same. I think they said they've touched the what is it?
64.
The textures. That's what it is.
Yeah,
They've,
they smoothed out Mario's nose a little bit.
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah, I
And they
think
made-
that's about it.
And they made Sunshine widescreen capable or something, right?
Wait, so if you play 64, you didn't have the black bars on your screen?
Yep.
Authentic experience.
Wow. Okay. That's okay.
Oh, well, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, then
I mean,
okay.
people-
Technically, all games should have that because, like, even the Wii was like limited to 4K.
People were going off about how, like, how can they basically make Sunshine widescreen but then 64
Right,
not
it's
widescreen?
Yeah, exactly.
64 is not widescreen.
Okay. But yeah, so kind of as Anthony alluded to there, the reaction to this has been like actually fairly negative to people who aren't just like diehard Nintendo fans and everything. And it's like, I really want more Mario in my life or whatever again. So yeah, the reason was such is graphical issues. Very minimal effort has been given to kind of touch up the graphics or do anything with the graphics on each game respectively. The collection costs $60 for Mario 64 is like a 30-year-old game at this point almost, right?
But they had to port it to
Yeah, I mean,
97.
99, right?
Oh, okay, so it's closer to like 21 or 22. Okay.
20
Yeah.
plus. Let's
Yeah,
leave
it is
at
like
that.
it's over. It's like Mario 64 is a
It's been
20-plus-year-old
over 2
game, and there's
decades.
no like appreciable improvements, like graphically, gameplay-wise, to it, and everything, etc., etc. And yeah, it's the little collection costs $60 for all 3 of those games.
96.
Okay,
6. Okay.
Yeah.
Almost 25.
okay, yeah, as they were in all of their righteous glory, like when they all came out. And this is my favorite part personally. The game is going to be on sale until what is it, like March 31st, 2021.
Yeah.
Is this a digital thing or is it physical?
Both.
As well?
It's physical
Right.
and digital, and you won't be able to buy it after March 31st, 2021. So it's like a 6-month limited supply. Okay. Although if you have bought it once and say you get like a new Switch or whatever, you would be able to like re-download it if needed, because it'll be presumably tied to your Nintendo account. But yeah.
Mm.
So
So, okay, so it's like a limited time. It's
Well-
called special edition kind of thing, I guess, if you want to call it that.
mhm.
I assume they're doing limited time because they plan on splitting them up into separate purchases.
Yeah, kind of makes
Like-
sense, right? Yeah.
We're gonna make you buy them together for 60 for 6 months.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
wait,
And
wait.
then if you don't want, like, why do you even want Super Mario Sunshine?
I was
right?
about to bring that
So,
up too. It's just like, isn't like Sunshine like really like hated among people for whatever reason? Like,
It's kind. It just gets like
It's
memed on,
divisive.
but
Yeah, okay.
like, it's not a good game.
okay.
in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure someone here probably likes it.
I liked it.
Yeah, but like
I
But
liked
then
it when I was a
it's
kid. Yeah.
I think comparatively to the other Mario's, it's definitely one of the weaker 3D ones.
Okay.
See,
Uh,
I just don't
Same
play
breath,
Mario.
I
I'm not
like
good with platformers.
Yeah.
like
Give
You
me a
put-
puzzle game.
they put like Galaxy 1 but not Galaxy 2. It's kind of confusing as well. Like
Yeah, okay. So my perception of this is they're going to do multiple collections, I reckon.
Okay.
But like what else
Yeah.
are you gonna put in the 3D collection if you don't have Galaxy 2? There's nothing else
Does-
really.
Does the Switch have the Virtual Console?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, it does. Switch has Virtual Console.
Well, not really. Not like
Okay, it has like NES games and whatnot, but not like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't-
Okay.
NES and
and you can't
Yeah.
buy them. You have to be subscribed to their thing, and you can, and it's pretty limited. Like there's no Game Boy Advance. There's no.
Hmm.
All it is NES and Super Nintendo.
Gotcha.
So it's nowhere like it used to be.
No,
No.
they've actually gone like
You got rid of it.
backwards in terms of like.
So that's
how you
why
can
they're
play the
doing
old
this.
Games. Yeah.
See, what I think they're going to do is this is really dodgy. But what they'll probably do is they'll sell this collection, right? 3 games, $60.
hmm
After March 31st, they'll port N64 games to the Virtual Console and Switch Online.
Maybe.
Oh.
And then you'll be able to get Mario 64 on there for however much your subscription is.
Which is probably the game that most people want out of this collection,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I assumed it would be
So they-
Galaxy, in all honesty, though.
well, yeah, or Galaxy.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's a close one there. I would consider Galaxy like still new enough so like most people wouldn't want it.
there are
Mario
ways to play
64
Galaxy.
Yeah, like Mario 64 is it's a one that hasn't necessarily been done right in a while. Like I know they made the version for 3DS,
Mhm.
and that was
I think
kind
it was
of,
just DS.
or-
Yeah,
I think it was, I think it was
No,
3DS.
It was DS.
Oh, okay.
Was it?
Was that old,
Yeah.
huh?
It was just DS, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
could
was.
play as like Wario and like.
Oh, okay. I vaguely remember that, although I can't
Yeah.
say specifically
It's
whether or not it's for
Mario
DS or 3DS.
Okay, so I guess there was for the DS. I thought they made a 3DS version. No, I'm thinking of
They did
something
Mario
else.
Land or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like it hasn't necessarily hasn't been done right in a while.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like you could have fired up your Wii U and play Galaxy, Galaxy 2,
Uh-huh.
probably
Yeah.
even Sunshine on those.
Assuming you didn't bury your Wii U in the backyard when it
Actually,
died.
you could probably
Oh.
play 64 on a Wii U as well. Mario
Yeah.
64 on Wii U.
To be fair, if you had a Wii U, you already had a Wii, and you probably kept that over the Wii U. So
Yeah.
True, true. I mean, I have both.
I have
although
both chilling in my closet right now, yeah.
I inherited
I have
one
a
from
I have a
someone.
Wii chilling in that drawer.
Okay.
I've got
there.
3 Wii's.
Jesus,
Why?
Why, though?
I don't know.
You should take
I
one
think-
of those Wii's and make the Wii like the Wii Game Boy thing. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty cool.
basically, there's these modders who like physical modding hardware, who takes a Wii and cuts the motherboard with all the like necessary stuff out of the primary board, and fits it into like a Game Boy Color sized handheld device, and it works.
Cool.
Okay, what the hell else is inside the Wii then besides that motherboard?
Some motion. No, they had a separate bar.
Thermals.
Anyway.
You need good thermals to run Wii games.
Fair enough.
No, you don't.
All the ports, like they had to run like stuff for disk
Basically,
reading and all
IO.
that stuff.
Yeah.
They had the plugs for the GameCube controllers in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It kind of adds up after a while.
But that's like necessarily like that's all the primary hardware you have. Like everything else is just kind of soldered on at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I just don't get it. $60 for this is pretty bad. I think.
Yeah,
Pretty
it is.
steep.
Like,
It is.
Would you
I
pay
d-
40 for it?
yeah, like I don't want to play Mario Sunshine. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Everybody wants the
haven't-
game discounted by like $20 because nobody wants to pay for Mario Sunshine.
yeah,
Nobody
like,
wants to pay for one of those particular games.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to replay 64. I've never played Galaxy before.
Okay,
this-
so I wouldn't mind.
Galaxy
So,
is
yeah,
a-
it's like I wouldn't mind playing Galaxy, but like nobody wants to play Sunshine again. Sorry, Nintendo.
Galaxy's a blast.
and
I
like
enjoyed
this is
that
a
one.
Galaxy without motion controls too, so like
Yeah.
super up my alley because you
Yeah.
don't have to point at the screen and stuff, right?
Mhm.
No, they still had to like they still showed you get to like point
Well,
at
you
the screen.
can't- I
and
think you
whatnot for
can.
You
Yeah,
can
but I don't
turn
think
him
you have
off
to.
because the Switch Lite isn't gonna be able to do motion controls.
Mm.
That's true.
Or if
How
I
did-
play on handheld mode, right, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know there's like some things that require you
Ooh.
pointing at the screen for. So I wonder how they're gonna
Used it. What
make
is
that
it?
happen.
I know what they could do. So they don't necessarily have to go down like the 3D route. They can
Right.
kind of, but they probably, well, I mean, like for another collection, they could do like a sports collection or something.
Oh,
Bring back strikers.
Right?
you should make a new one now.
Please bring back
I mean-
strikers.
Andrew, this is Nintendo. They're gonna go the route of the least resistance, if that's even a thing.
If they wanted to do that, then they wouldn't have made it Mario Tennis a couple of years ago. I forget
True.
how long ago.
That was at least a
And
year
that
ago.
game was doing well.
Yeah, the game was pretty well received as far as I remember, right?
I reckon
Yeah.
they could do like Mario Strikers, Mario Golf.
I just want Mario Golf. Yeah.
So do I.
I'd want strikers. Strikers
Mario-
is a good
Yeah,
time.
why not strikers, golf, and tennis?
Because we already have tennis.
It's like
Oh, okay.
Mario Sports Club or something.
Yeah, something like
Mario
that.
Kart 64.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a racing can be a
Well,
sport.
see, like the thing about the Mario Karts, they just put the old tracks in the new game.
Ah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Diddy
like,
Kong Racing. Why don't they port Diddy Kong Racing over? So
yeah.
good.
Nobody likes
I don't-
Diddy Kong.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say. I think Diddy
I'm
Kong.
a sidekick
His
to a
name, his
sidekick
name is
character.
Look,
tarnished.
so it's like, so Nintendo needs to do what they did here, but like, finally give us the Metroid Prime trilogy on Switch or something, or like give us like the Zelda, like a Zelda 3D collection or something. Give us like Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and I don't know, Wind Waker or Skyward Sword or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean,
don't know.
Not everybody is a Metroid fanboy like you, Taylor.
Well, I
Hold
just
up,
said
hold up, let's be
there's a
real.
way to do it for
Nobody
Zelda
is.
also. There's a way to do it for Zelda also, you know. There's like multiple ways out of this that all involve not Nintendo
Okay,
selling
well,
us
wait.
Mario Sunshine again, okay? That's all I'm saying.
We've had Ocarina of Time ported. We've had
Onto the
Majora's Mask
3DS
ported.
though.
3DS, yeah.
Yeah, I know. They're not going to do it again.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, did anybody play Diddy Kong Racing?
No.
I mean, on the N64, yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
No.
Like I remember
I played
flying
Mario
little,
Kart Racing. over
playing
that.
little cars, doing the hover boats and all that stuff.
Yeah.
A little open worldness of it all. It was cool, like back in the day. Like,
Hmm.
but I don't know if it holds up today. Obviously.
I know what. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back OG Mario Party. Andrew's favorite game.
Oh god,
Ye-
yes.
On.
I loved the shenanigans that was OG Mario Party.
Like,
It was
so
such
broken.
horse shit.
like
it was so broken.
I don't know how the new Mario Party is. I'd be surprised if people didn't break their stuff very easy.
It'd probably be very easy to break a Joy-Con out of Ridge.
Oh yeah.
They've toned it down in comparison. Mario Party like 8 or 9 was really poorly received because they changed it up where like everybody traveled as a group instead of like the Versus
I
style.
remember that.
Okay.
yeah.
And everybody hated it because it wasn't as competitive.
'Cause they knew like children would be playing this game, and we can't subject children to that much rage.
We can't subject children to torture.
like-
That's illegal.
Like,
Look,
imagine
honest-
playing Mario Party with your kid and be like, "Daddy, why did you just get a star for no reason?" Just go, "Look, son. Sometimes games are bullshit and nothing matters."
Well,
I
That'd
wouldn't
be
lose.
you know what? That'd be a
I'll-
good life
And then your
lesson
kid
for the
cries.
kid there. That'd be a good life lesson for the kid there. Okay, you know, it's like sometimes, you know, it's like sometimes,
Look,
you know,
I'll-
Mario Party will just randomly give me a star just to fuck you over, or you know,
Yeah.
it's like you
Look,
know,
all I'm-
sometimes they'll get a cheater in your CS:GO match and completely screw you over. You know, life isn't fair.
You know,
I
all
love
I
that.
say when I'm gonna have a child, I'm gonna never go like easy on them because I want them to understand life doesn't take it easy on them.
There's a fantastic like Twitch clip of it's like Justin Wong, who's like a famous fighting game player.
Yeah.
He's just like spamming bullet like in like Injustice against some kid, and the kid's like, "But why stop doing that?" He just keeps like, "You're gonna learn today, kid," and he just keeps doing it. It's fantastic. I just
That's
recommend
awesome.
Everyone look that up. It is very
So I
good.
want to do that so when they win one day, they actually a well fought victory and they feel good about it.
Yeah.
They deserve.
Oh,
that
it's
win.
like the Mortal Kombat. That's what it is. Yeah. It's
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. It's like again, there are many ways Nintendo should have done a collection like this that don't involve us paying for Mario Sunshine again. So
What the hell?
No one wants it.
yeah, I don't know. So
Just give us a proper virtual console.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't understand
But
why
they
that's
know,
just
like,
not
they
the
know they can
solution.
Charge people for it, and they'll still sell.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, like I know enough people will want Galaxy and Mario 64. So
Yeah, but Nintendo also knows they could console lock each each virtual console game to like, hey, you can't bring that Switch version to the next gen
You
version.
see, I'm not
and
actually
people would
sure they
still
know
buy it.
that.
Well, they did that. I think.
No, I assume they know that.
Okay.
Like if I bought something on Wii, I didn't go over to Wii U, did it?
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
But no, what I'm saying is like, you see, I don't think Nintendo understands the concept of transference like that. In all honesty.
Would you? Okay, this is. I know I have a Nintendo thing. Like I have a Nintendo account, but they don't even talk. Like right. I've had the same PlayStation account since PS3.
Yeah.
Like I had to make a different one probably for each like
Yeah.
Nintendo console, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I think
well,
as of
no,
like
no.
the DSi-esque era, I think it's been pretty good in terms of like going over to stuff.
Okay.
So if you've had a 3DS account, that's transferred over to to Switch. I think
Okay.
Wii U also transferred to Switch as well.
Okay.
But you didn't get those games you bought.
No, because there's no virtual console.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, even like say I bought. Oh no, you're right. Because like there's like games like Pikmin that they're just recharging $60 for again, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is it now? That alongside this one they had 3D World, right? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Mario 3D World, I think
Mhm.
is the
Yeah.
name of the. They're porting that over, and it's probably gonna be $60.
Oh god.
So
Yeah, they did like new Super Mario Brothers 2 or Wii U or whatever it was. They ported
Mhm.
that to Switch, and that was $60.
yeah, and like those games are like old.
They're not that good either.
Is Breath of the Wild still $60? Hold on.
I
Oh,
bought
yeah.
it. I bought it for like 45 like a couple months ago because I knew like that's about as cheap it's gonna get. It's like $40 to $45. So I was like, I might as well buy it now
Shopping.
because
Yeah, I got Target at $49.99. GameStop is still selling it for $59.99.
It's
Yeah.
GameStop.
Yeah. eBay
Wow.
has
They're
it
trying to stay
for
afloat.
$50.
even
yeah.
eBay, it's probably not gonna be that much cheaper. Yeah.
How much is in Nintendo store though? The virtual store.
Walmart has it for $60.
See, that's when I bought it. I got it digitally for like 40 or 45.
Okay. Play
Because it was
Asia has it
big
for
sale.
$70. What the hell? Yeah. Games Tees Australia has it for Australian $89.
Even like Mario Party is probably like $50 still.
So Breath of the Wild is $60, $59.99
Okay.
on the Nintendo store.
Damn.
It's
Okay.
good.
USD.
Yeah.
Yeah, USD.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is a 3.5-year-old game, ladies and gentlemen. So
I know.
Still
it's-
one of the best games ever made.
it is. Yeah, I'm just saying. It's just
Yeah.
like $60 for a 3.5-year-old game is still pretty.
Even look at like Sony. They're like, hey, you want to play God of War? $20.
Right. Yeah.
You know. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that was game of the year though. Like,
So was Breath of the Wild.
I know.
He
Okay.
He does have you there.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if like God of War came out, what, a year later than Breath of the Wild, or 2 years?
Roughly about a year. It was in 2018.
later? A year
It
later.
was a year.
Yeah.
That's really $20. You'd think Breath of the Wild would be like around the same price.
it should be.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Nintendo
that's
really
what you
doesn't
would
like to like
imagine.
go down though, and
Yeah.
Nintendo really likes to
Some
charge
weird-
$60 for everything they can.
Artificial.
Boycott.
Yeah.
I played on my Switch
There-
earlier this week. Boycott Nintendo.
My-
There's
my Switch is in
worse
a
things
drawer
to do.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, among like dumb business practices in the gaming industry, that's pretty down there. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All things
Like,
considered, no,
like-
you do have a point. All things considered, like
Like,
Like it's just money at a certain point where you're like, oh,
Yeah. Like, let's look back over the past couple of months of the shady stuff that we've talked about with companies.
Right, like
most
EA,
who have
Activision
complained about
stuff,
Nintendo
yeah.
is they're still charging $60 for Breath of the Wild.
yeah,
I mean,
they're making you pay $60 to play Sunshine again, though, so that's pretty up there.
Well, yeah. Well, they make you pay $60. They're just forcing you to own Sunshine. Actually, you're not even gonna play it.
gotta get them sales numbers somehow.
It's like, oh yeah, Sunshine was, they sold this much.
It's like, wow, nobody wants Sunshine.
There it is.
It
You know.
is.
It's like when your mom is like, making you eat like broccoli, but you love broccoli. It's like, no, you love Super Mario Sunshine, right?
Not really. No. Okay. I think we need to move on because we're just kind of
Back to
horsing
the
around
matters.
at this point.
In order to get.
Jesus compelled it. Okay.
Okay.
Got resurrected.
Okay. Just like those people in Brothers in Arms. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're just trying to force it around at this point with Nintendo, so we should move on to the next topic. And this next topic might be the Matt and Taylor show for a little bit, but
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
All right, Matt, let's talk about NVIDIA Ampere.
Sorry, hold up.
Was that the
Hey.
name of the? Okay, I didn't. That's the name
Okay.
of the cards.
Yeah,
That's-
so yeah, we're doing.
That's the name of the architecture.
Yeah, kind
Got
of.
it.
Okay, so we're going to a brief overview. NVIDIA, if you're at all into PC gaming, you definitely know who they are. But if you don't, then they make graphics cards. Okay, they are probably the leading. They're like the only ones that make graphics cards that are relevant right now.
Potentially, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
pretty much true. There's only two major graphics card manufacturers in the world between AMD, who's doing really good on the CPU side of their business, and Nvidia. Intel is
Still
trying
working
to
on
get
it?
in the game.
Yeah.
Trying to
I
get in
didn't
the
even know
game
they
there, but we
tried.
haven't heard anything, and their ship is slowly sinking. So let's see how that goes. But as Taylor said, AMD hasn't really done anything relevant in the past 5 years when it comes to graphics cards. Really, I mean, and then Nvidia just earlier this week announced their new RTX 30 series,
Yes.
and
3 years,
These-
about 3 years to the day after they did their 20 series too. It's like we've had like
Yeah.
iterational improvements of the 20 series. Like we've had like the super line of 20 stuff and whatnot. But this
We've
is like
had-
the
yeah.
next generation of NVIDIA stuff, and we have 3 GPUs to talk about today, which are pretty good. I will say everything about this announcement made me paint my walls white. So anyway,
But yeah, so there was 3 cards that were announced: the RTX 3090, 3080, and 3070.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, their before announcing this, their flagship card that they would advertise was the 2080 Ti, which sold for roughly $1,200. It was a beast of a card, though. It was hands down the best. AMD had nothing that could possibly touch it, and to give an idea, it does 80 Ti was the best. And then Nvidia comes out this year and says we got it the RTX 3070, which is a 2 pegs down in terms of the level of what you would expect for performance. Matches the 2080 Ti in performance and costs only $500.
which is less than half of what a like retail new 2080 Ti would cost.
which is nuts.
Yeah.
Because
So
that is like a roughly a 70 to 80% gain over the 2070 to 3070,
Mhm.
which is, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah, going on. So 3 new cards are the RTX 3090, the RTX 3080, and the RTX 3070 and everything. They're the next generation of, like the ray tracing, stuff like that with the tensor cores, all that fun stuff and everything, right? And NVIDIA is, like, boasting some really, like, powerful generational improvements here, in all honesty. Like, it's been years since we've had such a generational leap like this and everything. Which is pretty good to see. As Matt said, the 3070, which is usually like paid to be like they're like beginning enthusiast one. Like, okay, you weren't necessarily building a PC on a budget per se, like on a tight budget per se,
Yeah.
but you were still trying to limit it. It's just like it's insane value for performance. And then you have an RTX 3080, which is the next tier up that was announced and everything. And it's going to outperform the 2080 Ti and Ti and still cost a little over half the price, but still like maybe 60% of the price or so, right, of a 2080 Ti. So that again isn't horrible. And then you have this monster RTX 3090 card, which is $1,500, but it's capable of doing 8K gaming at 60 FPS with like pretty good settings turned on also, and like ray tracing
Yeah.
and like DLSS and whatnot. This is all really quick. This is all according to NVIDIA. So maybe when the cards are actually in the hands of reviewers, things might vary a little bit. So just wait and see.
Yeah,
They're
gonna vary.
September. Yeah. I will say that it is very interesting that NVIDIA went with the 3090 moniker and everything, because 90 usually isn't used lately by NVIDIA. They usually keep that for something that's kind of special-ish. The last card that was the had the 90 designation was the GTX 690 card back
that's like
8 years ago or
first-
so. And what was
That's
special about
wild.
that, it was a dual GPU unit on one card. So I had like 2 GPU dies on one card. So
Yeah, and to be fair in that regards, I mean they've kind of tried to replace that moniker with the Titan series,
Right.
but now for the Titan cards themselves have become more of an what's the best way to put it? Professional type card. So like they transition from, hey, this is the best of the best gaming card we have, to, hey, this is more for like the prosumer who does, more work at home type stuff and needs a powerful graphics card.
Yeah.
And I think transitioning back to the 90 moniker works well for it, because this is definitely a massive leap in terms of processing power.
Mm-hmm.
To give you an idea, typically a card is about 2 slots thick, which is like about 2 inches or so. This one adds another slot, so this thing is thick.
Dummy
That's
thick.
huge.
Yeah.
Did you see the
Dummy
presentation?
thick.
Yeah.
Where
A
he
little bit.
pulled out of his oven?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the images of like him holding it like normal, but people make the card like 3 times bigger than it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Those memes are great. But yeah, like it also has a really large 350 watt TDP, which is how much over the previous generation?
It's
Like
around
50?
100. It's around 100
100?
over. Yeah.
100 watts over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some
some
power
serious
behind
It's
it.
power hungry. Yeah.
Serious power, yeah.
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 So hold on. Yeah, what I was gonna like refer to with the them going with the 90 moniker, which means theoretically there will be a second generation RTX Titan card, maybe in about a year or so time, and that thing is going to be absolutely redonkulous if this is anything to go
Or
off of.
thick.
Yeah, like it's gonna be quite the gap bridge between like high-end desktop stuff into like versus Quadro sort of thing. So if you don't know,
And Quadro's-
Quadro is like their big like enterprise data center GPU stuff, like heavy compute cards. You don't really want to game off a Quadro and everything. It's not meant for that and everything. But
It's
yeah,
not meant for it, but it can. It's like
can.
Quadros are supposed to be the most reliable, best silicon they have there, and they come with a suite of benefits if you do get one.
mm-hmm.
So okay, so the 3070 is like 500, right?
Yes,
correct.
said? That's so crazy. That's so much cheaper than like what I would normally put, and it's faster than the 2080 Ti.
It's on par for a 2080
fast as
Ti.
a 2080 Ti.
Okay, got it.
And
Huh.
I'm just sitting here with the 2070 Super that I bought. No, that's...
To be fair, I don't think because like that's for your mini
Yeah.
ITX build. I don't think
Yeah.
there's any like none of the 30 cards so far will fit into a mini ITX build right now.
I
Right,
have
yeah.
well, I mean, like
At least
depending on
the Founders
cases you go
Edition
with.
ones. The AIB might be smaller.
So there have been other companies who've made announcements in terms of custom coolers and whatnot. Zotac, Asus, MSI, and a couple of other ones out there. I forget them off the top of my head. I was mainly looking at the Zotac one because they make the mini line of which is the 2070 Super Mini that barely fits into the case that I'm building in, and it's like literally a millimeter clearance. It's that insane.
Yeah.
The new cards, the 2070, 3070 Super, my bad, is like extra like 10, 15 centimeters in all directions, and it just wouldn't fit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just get some duct tape.
Right.
Save it on-
All right, though.
So I remember my question. I was gonna remember. So why do you think they're able to get it this cheap? You think it's like just a progression, or is this like a competition?
I think they're gonna so AMD is rumored to like come out with like new cards this year, pretty soon. It might be alongside their 4000 Ryzen processors and whatnot.
That's what I'm imagining
this
it by
year.
this point.
Yeah, and so I think the word on the street is this is going to be like a massive undercut to AMD,
God.
or at least as far as the 3070 is concerned and everything. It's like this is gonna be a massive undercut to AMD.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
As far as we
competition's
understand,
finally paying
AMD's
off for us.
I'm sorry.
The competition is finally paying off for us, right? For the consumer.
Yes, because
Yeah.
Nvidia and because there's no like real direct competition right now for Nvidia. Nvidia is at least somewhat scared of what AMD might do later this year, which is why we saw such very aggressive price points. And the current rumors surrounding AMD are as such that their highest end card will be between a 3070 and 3080 for like maybe around 550 to 500 or so. So.
Yeah, pretty good
So
deal.
Yeah.
that's pretty good too.
Which wouldn't be a bad
It's-
deal either, but then it's going to come down to what it used to be when AMD was still competitive with the GPU is like, do you need the premium features that NVIDIA kind of has always had over AMD, or
Yeah.
do you just need?
Or do you want your games crashing like every day?
Well, AMD is in like partnering up with Sony and Microsoft for the new consoles.
Yeah.
if I'm
To be
not
fair,
mistaken.
AMD has always made ever since like that PS1, Xbox original days, they've always made the hardware for consoles.
Mhm.
The only one that's an outlier is the Switch because that uses NVIDIA-based architecture.
Yeah,
Okay.
it uses the NVIDIA Mobile Tegra chip.
Right. Remember that.
Okay.
And I think NVIDIA learned a lesson from Intel because Intel got really complacent with where they were for about like 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
Then AMD just knocked them out with Ryzen or
Yeah,
for like
yeah.
over the course of the past couple of years, and they're gonna look to improve it even further with the 4000 Ryzen series
Mhm.
with new architecture.
Uh-huh.
NVIDIA learned a lesson from there. Like, we can't sleep on these guys, or they'll take us by storm.
Right.
So they just keep progressing and keep making it better.
A lot of people have
wonder-
also been saying that it's like this is NVIDIA apologizing for how the 20 series went because the 20 series was overall not very well received and everything because like
Yeah.
it had like generation first technology with like the ray tracing and stuff like that, the DLSS and whatnot, but it just absolutely, bye Andrew, it just absolutely crippled the performance and whatnot.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily good in that regards upon the initial release. They focus camera.
Yeah.
Screw it.
Yeah.
There it goes. It wasn't very well received. DLSS was a mess,
Yeah.
and the ray tracing, it was quite forced.
And it was good
to
if you
be-
were going wall licking, but like if you were just playing the game, you weren't really gonna notice.
I always go wall looking.
Yeah, same. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. But it's one of those things. It's like it was such a niche back then because nobody ever really thought about it in terms of gaming,
yeah,
and so they improved upon it with the Super series of cards because they refined their process, made it more streamlined,
mm-hmm.
and it turned out better. They introduced DLSS. I keep saying that wrong. DLSS 2.
Yeah,
Which was a definite improvement, and some would say better if you use that with 1080p scaled up to 4K is actually better than native 4K,
Mhm.
which is a fascinating idea.
right. The idea is like the sharpness kind of makes up for it and
Yeah.
whatnot. But what I was gonna say also with DLSS, when DLSS first launched, it was like really hit or miss on each game too. Like I remember with Metro
Yeah.
Last Light or whatever that retroactively added DLSS or something like that. It was like DLSS 1.0 made the game not only look worse but perform worse too.
Same
Love
with
it.
Battlefield 1.
Yeah. Yeah, they retroactively added added DLSS to it also.
Now
Didn't
that
work
Wes
out
can
well.
speak today.
I know.
But yeah, like DLSS 2, because it's all AI based, if I remember correctly, right, Taylor?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So like they've improved the performance and the AI to make it more efficient, which has definitely shown because it's now more higher frames and a better image quality. So that's very nice to see. And
Okay.
what else is kind of there was something else that was announced with this as well, but I forget.
There was like so NVIDIA did like a couple little bit of suites and everything. Hold on just a second.
Yeah.
NVIDIA did like they kind of it looks like we're doing the next like iteration of RTX voice and everything. Although NVIDIA's rebranded it.
The streaming software as a whole.
Yeah.
Personally, I wasn't impressed with the RTX voice.
I've never even tried it. Then yeah, I don't have
It
RTX.
was kind of impressive, to be honest. Like some streamers and stuff that I watch
Yeah.
use it for a bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they like there's like videos of them using like blenders and stuff right next to their microphones.
Yeah, like I find that interesting, but like it made their voice noticeably choppier, and I
Okay.
don't enjoy that.
I think it's only meant to be used as like an emergency kind of thing. Like if there's a lot of background noise, you're
I
streaming,
don't know.
like your lawn's being mown or something. I don't know, whatever.
So, oh yeah, and one thing to note, the RTX 3090 has a whopping 10,496 CUDA cores. That is nuts.
Which is higher core count than NVIDIA's current top of the line Quadro card, by the
I think
way.
they're, yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. So
One thing
that's
that, like,
actually
I know-
insane.
I know that Andrew asked this and he kind of disappeared, but I'll answer it for the audience.
Uh-huh.
The reason that these cards are so affordable is they actually did not go with the 7-nanometer process from TSMC.
Uh-huh.
They actually went with Samsung's 8-nanometer process
Yeah.
because Samsung has become really efficient in turning stuff out. They can make the silicon for really cheap, And they also used GDDR6X, which is currently as far as I'm aware, the best VRAM, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Like better than HBM2.
Yeah.
I think Taylor's on autopilot.
No, I'm sorry. I was reading this bit in the article. What were you saying? I didn't know you were directing it towards me. Sorry.
I asked is like GDDR6X is better than HBM2, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Is this 5-year-old technology as good as this new technology?
Well, my point still stands is like that coupled with the bus bandwidth that they've given it, it's really fast.
Right. Yeah. No, these are really fast cards, and if you have like the budget for it, which these are fairly wallet friendly too, or whatever. And I mean,
Yeah.
if you're in the U.S. and expecting another stimulus check one of these days.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
very
so-
true.
yeah.
We're not getting. Apparently, Australia isn't getting the Founders Edition
Okay.
of these cards at all.
Honestly, I don't think you should ever go for the Founders Editions. Their coolers are all right.
Mm-hmm. Nvidia is pulling some weird physics with their cooler this time around on the Founders Edition, where it has like a specific intake fan also, and then it's like venting out the side. But like, there's also going to be there is a world in which this is going to blow over your CPU and like the VRMs and everything also.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so either unless you have an AIO for one of these, then it's just like, yeah, you might actually affect your CPU temps if you have like an air cooler for
If
your
you have
CPU.
an Evo 212, your CPU is going to get nice and toasty.
Yeah. Oh, bye, Anthony.
Hi, Anthony.
What fascinating. Okay.
Yeah, I assume we're going to go on a kind of a deeper dive in this when we do this week's Pass Assault, I assume.
I guess, yeah. Oh, there he is.
Oh, welcome
I
back.
don't know what happened there. Discord just completely crashed.
Well, I'm back in the top left now. Sweet. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
But like yeah,
Delicious.
and one thing about the GDDR6X is that it's relatively cheap in comparison to make compared to HBM,
Yeah.
because HBM is such a different process that it requires specific type of foundries to make.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, let's see. What else is there about it? Also, NVIDIA is
State?
also I forget what exactly they call it, but it's basically like this latency pipeline or whatever. Where just like they're reducing latency, also like frame to frame and whatnot, stuff like that. It's
That's
like
true.
NVIDIA
They're
is starting to
implementing-
position themselves slightly more towards like esports stuff. Welcome back, Andrew.
Yeah,
So-
they've
There we go.
implemented a new process of how the tensor cores manage I forget what it is, but it's a better like simultaneous processing of the image, and it only takes like 12 milliseconds compared to the previous like 25, I think, something like that.
Sure.
Yeah. But my
Interesting.
favorite thing about the 3090 is the fact that you can get 60 FPS 8K now, but you can scale that back a little bit. If you can afford the 3090, you can presumably afford that insane 4K 144 hertz monitor too. You can now essentially hit 4K 144 hertz on a 3090.
It's here, boys.
Yeah,
That is
and
if
not have to
you're willing.
like cripple settings.
That
Like
is
pay
if
like
you have a
$2,000.
pocket deep enough to afford that $1,500 price tag. with the card.
$1,500 plus probably like $2,000 for that monitor, so it's like $3,500 on the graphics card and monitor alone. But you got 4K 144 hertz.
Look, you won't need an upgrade for the next 10 years. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, at this rate,
Wow.
we're gonna hit 8K 144 hertz pretty soon.
Yeah.
3 years later, you're gonna need
But
a
yeah,
new monitor and a new
if you-
card.
If you don't want to spend that much, the 3080 is going to be having a starting price point of $699, and the 3070 will be starting at $499.
Yeah.
Prices may vary because third-party board manufacturers will charge differently.
Yeah, plus or minus
I
like
would-
$50 to each of these prices for AIB stuff.
I would say add an extra expect 550, 600 for the 370 or 3070.
Yeah, I can get it from. So anyway, by the way, if you see me shilling on Twitter for Nvidia, it's because they're running a contest where you can like win these cards. So anyway, yeah,
Oh, is that why you're so distracted?
yes. I'm
You want a
I'm
card?
doing a tweet storm here, trying to win the cards. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
So I apologize if you hear birds in the
It is
background
nuts.
because there's people I mean, not people, there's birds on the fence and my window's
Okay.
open, so.
The bandwidth, the 3090 has 936 gigabytes per second.
Yeah. Almost a terabyte. Almost a terabyte per second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
pretty nuts.
Anyway, so the 3070 will come out in October, the 3080 will come out September 17th, and the 3090 will come out September 24th. Everyone on their dog online seemingly wants these cards, so have fun trying to find them for like the first month or so, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And with Corona as well, there's probably going to be a little bit
The,
of a waiting period.
one
get
thing to
these
note,
cards.
unlike the past, this time around there is no pre-orders, so you have to be there the day of trying to get it.
People are gonna line up outside a Micro Center trying to get these cards the night of release.
Oh yeah, midnight release.
Yeah. Anyway, Anthony, do
Amazon's
any of
gonna
these cards look appealing
crash.
to you?
Definitely, what is it, 3070,
Okay.
I'd
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
Because that's, like, what's the 2060 currently?
Probably
How
like
much is
250
it?
or so. Hold
250,
on.
sure.
Let's see.
I would probably go for 3070. I keep trying to say 3060. 3070 any day of the week. It's good that they're going like cheaper than the current 2080 Ti. So yeah, this is this is the problem with, particularly in like Australia, right? Everything is so expensive.
Yeah.
So expensive.
The
So
2060
we
had an MSRP of 350 when it launched.
350.
Damn.
Sure.
Anyway, sorry.
So we really need a high end card over here for cheap. Like
Okay.
500 US is like 700 still,
Mhm.
but it's a lot cheaper than like 2080 or whatever.
You don't have the
Bird.
$2,000 in AUD to drop on that 3090.
Come on, man.
Oh, it's more than that. It's like 2,300.
1,500. I don't know how much that roughly translates to.
Mhm.
It's like 2,300.
Oh, do you want? Hold on. This is an important point I didn't think about. So the 30 series now utilize PCIe Gen 4. So if you're on Intel,
Oh, that's right.
you're pretty much locked to Gen 3, even on the latest Hydra Lake shit. If you're on Intel, so you have to
That-
have like a pretty later AMD board to like take full advantage of PCIe Gen 4. But
Sure.
As far as I'm aware, the only boards that currently support Gen 4 PCI PCI is the 500 series and the X490, if I remember right, but I might be wrong on that.
yeah,
I know that I believe the 3000 series from AMD and the 4000 series will support Gen 4.
yeah. But
when it
Intel
comes
currently
to it.
doesn't have anything, which is
Intel has nothing. Intel's boat is sinking hard.
kind of a shame right now. Yeah. So realistically, it's only going to be a few percentage wise in terms of performance delta, but I would not want to hold any of these things back in any way, shape, or form. So yeah. Anyway, Andrew, any of these cards look appealing to you?
I mean, yeah, obviously, like getting an upgrade would be great, but
Yeah.
I'd have to upgrade so much more of my computer that it's
Yeah.
Okay.
like,
Yeah, to be able to utilize it to its fullest.
yeah, I'd have to get like a new motherboard and I don't know, maybe a new CPU even. I don't know.
Probably.
I think I'd have to,
You have like
yeah,
a
so-
first
you
gen
have to.
Ryzen, right?
I have a 2600.
Oh, okay.
So-
So, it might be
It's
okay.
not bad, but
Not too bad.
Yeah, it's not that old, but I don't. Yeah, I'd have to do some work and figure out what I would need to do to make it work, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
So it's definitely an interesting thing, but I'd basically have to gut my computer and like
Yeah.
rebuild a new one with with maybe my same memory and same CPU. But
That's
everything
basically
else-
what I did. Like,
Yeah.
I had to get a new motherboard, CPU, RAM,
Yep.
and GPU. And it costs like, I think it's like $1,000.
Yeah, I would say I'd probably have to if I'm including this one, I'd have to get a new motherboard, and I don't know what that would cost, but like maybe $200 for a decent motherboard, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like it's at least 700 taxes and stuff, and
sure.
it's definitely a thing I would plan maybe in a year or two.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm not
That's a
like
good idea.
Yeah.
chomping at the bit to do it now.
There might be supplies then.
Right.
Exactly too.
Yeah.
And like, what if the 20 or the 3060 comes out and it's, pretty solid? I
Mhm.
don't know, like in a year. So
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing I desperately need is like a new GPU. The GPU I bought was like, I shouldn't have bought it.
Which one did you buy?
Sketch.
It's an RX 580.
That's right.
Sketch.
So it's yeah. I have issues running.
AMD has issues.
AMD has issues, yeah. But yeah,
You,
like
you know
these
what
are
I find,
attractive.
you know what I find fascinating?
What?
You have like a 580, right? Which is at least like 3 years newer than my Fury X.
Yeah.
I've never really had issues with it.
Dude, I couldn't run Apex. I couldn't run.
I mean, I would like-
I can't run any new games basically until like 2 weeks after they come out.
Because you have to wait for the drivers to update because
Yeah.
I don't care about the 580.
Yeah. You gotta wait for like a game patch basically, and then like new drivers to drop.
Nah, my stuff just works.
I know. Good for you. Aren't you entitled?
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I did buy the card that had the first gen of HBM on it, so that was a fun adventure.
Sure.
Actually, this is my second Fury X because my first one died and I had to send it back to AMD
remember
because the HBM died on it. The HBM memory gave out. And I sent an image, just like, yeah, that looks like a memory error. You need to send it in for RMA. I'm like, cool.
Nice.
How do you know somebody has a Fury X? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
Yes.
There's a reason AMD never like capitalized on that concept ever again. Anyway, I don't. So Matt, do any of the 30 series look appealing to you, despite maybe some size limitations?
I mean, heck, I would love like a 3070 or like anything that would... Okay, so like, I'll get my case out because I can pick it up real quick.
No, he can't. It's like
pretty-
plastic, and it's the
it's
size of a
pretty
freaking
small.
GameCube.
It's small.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my new little mini ITX build. The motherboard got a hole burnt through it, so I'm getting that RMA'd. I have bad
Nice.
luck with tech. But this is the 2070 that I got, 2070 Super, and it just barely fits in there.
Yeah.
That looks
like,
nice though. Like it looks snug.
It's clean. It
You
looks
just have it
very
on
clean.
on your desk. That's cool.
yeah, and like it'll be cool when it's done because I'll have this.
How do thermals
This
and stuff
little-
work for that? Like, does it overheat at all? Or...
No,
No.
there's yeah.
Wow.
And this cooler will
Good.
go in there. It's gonna look
Is
clean.
that a Wraith cooler or whatever?
This is a CryoRig
Yeah,
C7G.
Sure.
This thing supposedly has 125 watts of TDP, which is more than enough for a 3900X, is which I'll be plugging into this build, which is the 12-core behemoth from AMD.
Should just gotten Threadripper at that point.
They don't make mini ITX Threadrippers.
I know, but I'm just saying. Like, anyway.
I could have gone with the 3950X, where it's the 16-core one,
Yeah.
but that has like 160 TDP.
Okay. Just undervolt. You'll be fine.
That.
But yeah, I won't be upgrading anytime soon, just because of like what's going on.
Gotcha.
Future stuff and whatever. Might be moving over there.
If you
Actually.
couldn't tell, I enjoy
Good
white and
happens.
black. I enjoy monochrome.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay.
White and black's always nice. So
It is. It's clean. It's an
very
aesthetic I
clean.
enjoy.
I'm just like RGB through the brain. Like everything's RGB on mine. It's all multicolored.
Unicorn
Rainbow.
vomit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel bad for any person who sends us tech stuff because there's like a 50-50 chance I'm gonna break it somehow.
Sure.
Just because of your existence.
Yeah.
Hey, you should put through the paces.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
It's in the review.
I-
It survived Matt.
Because at least like the amount of tech stuff that I just like unintentionally somehow just destroying is surprisingly high.
Sure.
Or just like messing with.
I'm usually like that, funnily enough. But like, past few
Like-
years, I haven't really broken anything tech related, which is good.
Like Sean, when we went to CES, has a clip of me trying like this demo, VR demo, and Taylor goes before me, it's fine. Sean goes before me, it's fine. I put on the headset, the stuff crashes.
Yeah.
And this is a clip of just Sean asking me, "Well, what'd you do?" What I do?
Apparently, I broke it.
something.
Yeah.
And it's just an ongoing joke because I break everything. Because I'm holding my broken screen S8 Plus.
Nice.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. I think we've talked about graphics cards long enough, and back to a little bit more like just straight gaming stuff. It's about
gaming.
Black Ops Cold War, 2020 Call of Duty, if you might. So apparently there was a multiplayer leak, like solid like 6 minutes of a multiplayer match. So yeah, Andrew, do you want to talk a little bit about this? Because you suggested this.
Yeah,
So, okay.
sure. So this footage, I don't know if we posted it in the. Shoot, I lost the article. 1 second.
Is it the Eurogamer one?
Yeah, the Eurogamer article. Basically, this leaked out. It looks like it leaked out of an event. Because you can actually recognize some of the names. Oh, someone posted. Thank you. You can actually recognize some of the names that are going in there. Like you see Doug is Raw, who is like that's one I recognize. He's like a big, Call of Duty player, at least for Warzone.
Sure.
So clearly this is like a YouTuber, Twitch streamer event they had recently.
Yeah, which is routine for Call of Duty, by the way.
They usually invite a bunch of people to one place to play it. So this is kind of not out of the normal. Actually, they probably didn't do that this year. They probably did something through Parsec or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you can't meet people this year.
Yeah, it's just not.
Can't go outside.
But anyways, besides the point, they had a big event, it looks like, and gameplay that leaked out of it. Like Taylor said, about 6 minutes of a multiplayer map in Miami, I believe it was, right?
Yeah.
And there's a new mission.
Like Miami.
Yeah, a new mission type.
Yeah,
Like,
doesn't it literally say Miami?
I think so.
Okay.
It says Miami.
It literally, yeah, it's like in like the loading screen or something. It literally says Miami.
United States. It
Yeah.
says that I see here.
Okay.
Yeah. So it looks like it's a new mission type. It's an this is like not the typical like team deathmatch. This is a escort the VIP kind of mission.
Exfiltration.
Yeah, so it looks like they're kind of maybe borrowing some stuff from like Siege, perhaps.
Nice.
Sure.
Okay.
In terms of like mission based. But it looks interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet because I haven't got hands on it, obviously. And this is like clearly a very poor version of a leak. Like it's not good resolution. The sound is not good.
480p.
Yeah, it's bad. It's a bad like way to judge the game, I think. Because I think so much of what Call of Duty does is with sound. At least in Modern Warfare was very good in terms of like how the guns sounded and like everything.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not always hearing the footsteps when you want to hear the footsteps. But,
or sometimes you're only hearing footsteps, so you want to hear literally anything else. But
or they're very loud. It's like they're coming from everywhere.
Oh God.
But so this is you can see some of the classes, the pre-made classes, like you would get in Call of Duty when you're not leveled up high enough to make your own. They got like the M16, the AK-47S, kind of guns we're familiar with from Black Ops. If you've played Black Ops a lot, you'll recognize those.
Yeah, sure.
You'll recognize those ones as being pretty good ones. At least I remember the AK-47S being fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of see some of that stuff. It looks like it looks like they're deviating from the old Black Ops in terms of like class base. Like you're not playing as a person with a whatchamacallit. I don't know if they said this out loud, but like you're not playing with the person with the bow or the person with the rocket launcher or the flamethrower. It looks like they're just going to be kind of back to basic Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
It is interesting that there is like a downed state in this version. It doesn't look
very Siege-esque.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. I don't think the animation is very good.
No, it doesn't. They like scuttle around at a pretty fast speed.
Yeah.
On their hands and knees. It looks a little funky. And I don't know. It's very colorful, which is a good change of pace. I think maybe it's just this map. I'm not sure.
Miami is colorful.
Yes, true.
They might be going for like that 80s like Vice aesthetic too. So like the pink and like light blue.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess
cyan.
Maybe that dates it to that. They're talking about Cold War, so I guess if it's in that era.
Yeah.
But obviously, usually the multiplayer maps are somewhat like relevant to the single player.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see like how they bring up Miami in this.
I imagine it's gonna be like KGB Death Squad in Miami sort of thing, going after a target or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I will have to find out. I think they're gonna put more information out next week, if I remember correctly. Or the 12th, was it?
Yeah, the official reveal I think it looks like is for the 9th.
Oh, 9th. Okay.
Yeah. So that should be like
It's
Wednesday
next
this
week.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I looked at this and looked at the hit markers look really. Yeah, I don't know if it's just the resolution, but everything looks a little funky.
I think it's the resolution.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think this is the
Yeah.
greatest video demonstrating everything right now.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm watching it right now, and
Mhm.
it's
Like,
Yeah.
things just look a little weird. Like the hit markers look really big and like aggressive. Like you can see like big like health bars over people's heads when you're kind of over when you're mousing over them or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Time to kill seems pretty quick too, to be honest.
It seems
That's
a
pretty-
little bit like it seems like a little bit slower to kill people than Modern Warfare right now, actually.
It does say that the article states the game also appears to have a higher time to kill than Modern
Okay.
Warfare.
Okay.
Was it that low in Modern Warfare?
Yeah, you die
Like, it
pretty
was
quick
quick?
in Modern
you
Warfare.
got that.
Yeah.
I've never played it, so
Okay. Especially in hardcore mode too. But like
That's
even
fine.
I
in just,
expect in
like,
hardcore.
well, yeah, but
mode,
even in
because
like
I knew
normal
about
though,
that.
it's pretty even
Yeah,
in
if you
normal.
get, depending on the
Damn.
gun, you can get rocked really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Dang, I didn't think it was that quick because I was like, that's a pretty quick time to kill. It's like it's higher than Modern Warfare. Okay.
Yeah, that would make sense. If you're
I
trying
mean,
to
for the
appeal to more people, I think.
and I feel like the mode as well that they're playing in this demo, higher time to kill is like probably where it needs to be because like
Yeah.
in Siege, for instance, like it takes. I mean, it doesn't. Time to kill in Siege is pretty low as well, but like, you know, it's 3 or 4 rounds and then you're dead basically.
As long as
Which
not
is
a
kinda
headshot, yeah.
basically, which is kind of similar to this. But yeah,
Siege, you only need a one shot headshot to be able to kill anybody.
Right,
Mm, yeah.
exactly. It's
Just-
like the time to kill in Siege to be theoretically instantaneous, you know?
Yeah.
which is how it
Gotta
should be.
Spray through the walls.
Yeah.
Just spray
I
through
don't
every wall.
know.
You're guaranteed to hit someone, right?
This didn't impress me though.
No? Not super
I-
impressed? Okay.
I don't think so. But also,
This-
like, this is like bad footage, like we mentioned.
Right,
It's,
yeah.
It's pretty bad looking.
And yeah, it doesn't look great. It doesn't sound good. That's the
Mhm.
one thing I really noticed. And then, like, you're not seeing a lot. You're not seeing different guns that are interesting. You're just kind of everyone's kind of playing, or you're seeing one guy who's playing the same gun the entire time.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
you don't get that
Yeah.
idea of like, oh, a shotgun is either really good or really bad, or like, oh, this appeals to me because it shoots fast or whatever. Right?
This actually seems like using like this basic ass bitch like assault rifle sort of thing the entire time, you know?
yeah, just using that like classic.
Yeah.
The mic
Assault.
quality in the game has always been the same in COD because they speak like after round.
Yeah.
I swear it sounds like it hasn't changed for the past 12 years.
It hasn't. It hasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't quite like judge super duper hard like the technical graphics of the game off this video because it is 480p, and
Yeah.
that level of compression for a video is also going to crush the audio quality also. So
Yep.
Now, what is interesting is like Call of Duty haven't taken the video down.
yeah,
What's it being? I don't even know what's being hosted on.
Well, it's on Reddit. This video that's like in the
They,
article.
Yeah.
I mean, they
But
couldn't
Reddit doesn't,
really
Reddit
at that
doesn't
point.
host videos. I don't know.
no, they do.
Oh, they do.
They do.
Oh,
Yeah, they
okay.
do like v.reddit now or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I mean, we'll see obviously more in a few days.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe
it's so
they-
close that they don't really care at this point.
Yeah. You're like,
Even
oh,
though it's
whatever.
happening.
It's like a week early, whatever.
Yeah. Also, it's like the people who are gonna, who want to watch it are gonna watch it, and yeah.
It's not
I don't
going to
know.
change any opinion of anybody really, especially with the low quality video.
I
like
did,
this.
yeah, I did see though. Like, I was like, someone mentioned on my Twitter. I don't know, I can't remember who it was, but it was like, oh, it's like someone from Game Informer. It was like, I wonder how like Modern Warfare will either make Cold War sell really well, or it's gonna make Cold War sell like less because it's kind of like the Call of Duty in years, right? So like,
Right.
like, oh, I love Modern Warfare. I don't need the new one. Or like, is it gonna go the other direction of like, oh, Modern Warfare is great. Let's check out the new one.
It kind of really depends on I guess, kind of the reviews of it. Some
Yeah.
early reviews.
True.
I feel like
That's
if
gonna be the
Cold
big
War,
influence.
I feel like if Cold War does like tries to go the route of Modern Warfare, like multiplayer as a service kind of thing, where like it's getting updates and all that kind of stuff, they're kind of going to play both games against each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're probably going to keep Modern Warfare as the main multiplayer experience because Warzone's free to play, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, there's no way they make a new battle royale, or at least they shouldn't.
Yeah. So it'll probably include like its own unique multiplayer stuff, but it's probably not going to be as servicey as Modern Warfare, I wouldn't say, because Modern Warfare gets like new seasons and this, that, and whatever, predominantly for Warzone, but like there's different operators and stuff that get put into like multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to make people to buy 2 battle passes,
Exactly, yeah.
instead of the 1. So
yeah.
that will be interesting because right now you buy the 1 battle pass and it affects multiplayer and Warzone.
Unless the 1 covers both, maybe if they did like Battle Pass for Cold War, but it also includes Warzone.
True. So I guess you'd have to just pick your whatever multiplayer you want. You're probably going to want to buy that one, right? Because
well, if you buy the Battle Pass, right, it'll work on Cold War, and
Right.
also if you want to play like Warzone as well, that's because it's done through what's Blizzard's launcher?
Battle.net launcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could make it work.
Yeah.
Using both games, even though they're both different.
Well, then we can talk about a little bit next week. How it's just like, oh, Black Ops Cold War will have like close integration with Warzone or whatever.
A little bit, yeah. We'll have to find out what their
Hopefully.
plans are exactly because it's getting it's like a month away the launch, and we still don't know like anything about how it's gonna work.
Right. Yeah.
Or 2 months, I guess,
Yeah.
November, right? So
Yeah,
Still
November.
got a ways to go.
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
Sorry,
We're not
August
used to
Family
having
Game.
this little information so close to release for this game, right?
I know.
Yeah, usually the news
Brief-
cycle or like announcement cycle for games is a lot different.
Or
Yeah.
like how it's gonna work with the new consoles, even.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
'cause,
think
like,
that might
yeah.
be part of it as well.
Yeah.
Like there doesn't feel like there's any hype.
I mean,
for a
they
Call of
haven't even
Duty?
officially revealed it yet, though, right? Like,
Yes, they have.
no.
the
well,
game they have, not
okay.
the multiplayer.
I mean, not
but-
okay. That's what I
I
meant.
mean,
Sorry.
is
Yeah.
there any hype for Cold War?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's really
Like,
hard to
this
judge.
is-
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's not necessarily the game's fault. It's just like where the industry's at
Yeah.
the moment because of, like Corona and stuff.
I know.
It's
yeah.
very difficult to build hype when there's no events. Like Gamescom, complete and utter failure.
Yeah. Which we're about to get to, but like I don't know, I remember last year it's like there was a lot of hype leading up to the Modern Warfare, just the reveal itself, because it was just like, oh, everybody was teasing it's the return of Modern Warfare. The return of Modern Warfare is like it's either like Modern Warfare 4, which would be baller, or at least something else, right? And it was just like we got that big reveal. It was like, oh, that's so cool, and everything's
Yeah,
like, and we got the reveal in like April or May of 2019 for a game that came out in like late October, and it was just like the hype was just straight all the way through for that game coming out because it looked so good, it sounded so good, stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
they did
now
a lot
it's
of
just
black
like-
trickling out what they need to trickle out.
yeah. But now it's just like this one is just like, oh yeah, new Call of Duty in 2 months. We're going back to the Cold War. JFK's in it, and so is Reagan and like Nixon and LBJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
So-
Black Ops is a pretty popular series as well. Like people like Black
Yeah,
Ops.
people were like
And
Yeah.
used to be
3
super
was
into it.
3 was
I would say before the
Black Ops 2 is fun as heck.
before the
Yeah,
last Modern Warfare, it's probably the most popular one. right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
probably. Well,
definitely.
Modern
Like
Warfare
in
2.
terms of like in terms of series, it's definitely ranked right up there with the Modern Warfare
Yeah.
line.
So
Yeah,
they-
the zombies and stuff, which we don't even know
Yeah.
what I think we know exists. I don't.
they're
Zombies.
playing with 2 pretty big series in the franchise.
Yeah.
And like Modern Warfare got so much hype and so much like I was keen for it.
Yeah.
And like I've played all Black Ops and stuff and I like Black Ops 1 and 2.
Mhm.
But like there's nothing there. It's like So anyway, we'll see what happens.
It does. Yeah, it does really seem like I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's like the direct sequel-esque thing from the first Black Ops and everything, but it's just like it just seems like this is just more of Call of Duty Black Ops 1. That's kind of what I got off it.
But like people should be
Seems
excited.
like a
for it.
restart, kind of like how Modern Warfare was.
No, it's a direct sequel to Black Ops 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah, it's a lot of the same characters.
weird.
It's not like a
That's
It's not
good.
like a redo or anything like that. It's or like a reboot. Yeah.
I think
That's weird.
also like putting your heavy hitter, like you put Modern Warfare out, and like yeah, that nailed it, right?
Yeah.
And then instead of having like either a year off or like kind of like a spin-offy one that one that doesn't connect, you put Black Ops right after.
Mhm.
Like it's like
To be fair, these are
weird.
plans out like years in
Yeah.
advance.
yeah, but they knew what they were getting with they knew that Modern Warfare was probably going to be a hit. Like they didn't
Mhm.
they're betting on it. There's no way they were like Modern Warfare is going to tank.
All right.
So like, and then you put out your second most popular series right after, or you're these basically on the same level, right after each other. Like, I don't know. The game still feels good, I think.
Mhm.
So it's weird. Like,
And the only reason why I don't play it is just like the install size just like inflated
Yeah.
to ridiculous levels,
it's
and
massive.
it's like there are a lot of cheaters on PC. But like when I was
Yeah.
playing it, the game was like really fun.
It was.
So yeah,
definitely.
I still pop into multiplayer and
yeah.
you know I like shooting around and that stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll do some whatever it's called, Warzone occasionally. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The hype cycle / marketing for Cold War is weird.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
everyone's
it's
just
different.
a little tired, probably too.
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Like,
This
we've all
year has
been,
had a
you know,
lot to it. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. And like war is like war games aren't necessarily like a great escape sometimes from like when
Well-
you're already kind of like not feeling up to it. You're like, oh
Yeah.
man, like I got people
It's like
shooting each other.
shooting
It's-
people is going to be a lot of effort tonight. You know.
It's loud. It's
Yeah.
there's gunshots, scream. It's just
And
those
they
things
get,
like,
and
I'm
yet
just-
I get bitched at for playing Flight Sim.
no, like
No,
that's
I-
great. Like I love it.
At least
no.
one of those games is engaging.
It's mostly a digit, Matt.
I think Flight Sim can be incredibly engaging, if you
Yes.
want it to be.
Yeah.
Spending
If you do like a bunch of
3
like
hours cleaning
bush
your
flying
house.
and whatnot, and like a little Cessna around stuff, it can be like pretty
Yeah.
entertaining and whatnot, right?
It can be.
Yeah, but like, it's some of the longer distance travel, like country to country thing, gets a little bit like boring because it is just like autopilot tab out sort of thing for
Over
like
an ocean
300
for
miles,
3 hours.
and then land.
It's like meditative though, like right?
Yeah,
You're
it
just
is.
kind of like I'm gonna fly this thing. I'm gonna do the launch.
Yeah,
I'm gonna relax,
Take
maybe if
off.
I
Take
can, and then I'm gonna land, which is probably very stressful.
yeah, but yeah,
Right.
usually it's just like it's like I'll boot up Flight Sim, I'll take off, and then like crack open a beer, and then just
Yeah,
observe
like
the
all good
landscape.
pilots.
I
right?
remember watching Taylor play for the first time. He had like a 737. He was trying to land it at an airport that was like built for Cessnas.
Yeah.
And just like
Ran out of runway. Yeah.
right into the tower. I was like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
But that's like that has like peaceful moments, whereas like you launch code. Like I remember I launched it the other day when I was tired. And I was like trying to like watch, like my eyes couldn't keep up. I'm just like, why is everybody so good at this game right now? I just want to like be like an old person and enjoy it. But they wouldn't let me. Every
Yeah.
little kid's just running around murdering.
Just like zooming around the zoomers, all the zoomers, yeah. 360 no scoping.
Do we think as well, like people are just in general getting kind of tired of gaming this year because people have so much free time on their hands now?
That might be, I don't know, yeah, like a little bit of burnout just industry wide. It's just like
Yeah.
the default
I
for a
guess
lot of
it's-
people when they were like out of work and whatnot this past year has been like, oh, just play games all day,
Play games or home improvement stuff.
After
Yeah.
4 months, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we
no,
were like
And
170 days into 15 days to flatten the curve in the US, so it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
And what is this? I was gonna. And we haven't had like that much in terms of releases this year either. Like a lot of stuff has either been delayed or just like hasn't shown up.
Yeah. I think it's been like the
Well-
perfect storm of awkwardness for the game industry this
world.
year. Well, yeah, but I mean, like specifically the game industry, just because like Corona has delayed things or kind of thrown things into a little bit of a corkscrew in the industry or whatever. But overall, I'd say it's like even without Corona, we'd still kind of end up where we're going to end up in terms of the gaming industry in the end of this year. But like it is also. Pandemic aside, anytime there's like new consoles coming up at the end of the year, it does get really, really awkward. Like the year leading prior to that, stuff like that. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think a lot of games too. Like it's weird you don't talk about it. We don't talk about it much, but like they just quietly launch on on Game Pass,
yeah, exactly.
and you're like, whoa, I
Whoa.
own this. I have this game on Game Pass.
Yeah.
But like part of you's like now I have to launch it, and I have it's like I have to install. I have to launch it. It doesn't happen a lot. Like I know I have like Wasteland 3 is on there, which is like a cool classic RPG.
I didn't even realize Wasteland 3 launched.
Yeah. Like Wasteland 3 launched like last week on Game Pass, and it's like, oh, that game might be really cool. But then like part of me is like, I don't have the effort to play that large game right now, like in my brain. So it's just like stuff like that, like quietly sneaking out and doing really well. What was it, the Crusader Kings? That game came out. That's like a RTS game.
Yeah.
I mean, I never even heard of that game, and it's getting like
Oh, really?
10s.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't follow RTSs, so like, you know,
Yeah.
there's that. But like, it
Hey,
sneaks
Taylor, you might
out.
have something that's that's better than StarCraft.
Nope.
Yeah.
No
I mean,
RTS will ever be better than StarCraft. Sorry.
No, why don't you go and find out?
yeah, I mean, people are giving it like 10s. I saw so.
And
Like,
then also, it's
also-
just like Mortal Shell too. It's like they're trying to announce out of nowhere and then just trying to silently launch too. But it's like,
Yeah.
hey, when you hit me with the trailer, it's like, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah, I gotta play that game.
Okay.
Still
There's
have-
been like a
have it
couple of
installed.
like what I would expect to be kind of smaller games that just kind of really hit off,
Mm-hmm.
like Among Us and what's the other one, Fall Guy,
I have a play
Both of
date for
those have
Among Us
been
tomorrow. So
popping off.
Yeah, I'm not really like super into like Twitch, so it's like the whole like Fall Guys, Among Us hype train is just like completely missed me. I was just like, okay,
I think Fall Guys is slowing down a bit.
okay,
But it's definitely I played it with a few friends like casually, like, hey, let's have a beer or two and like chat while I freaking throw a pizza jelly bean off this like thing, right? So
yeah.
it's
Although
Yeah.
I am interested in checking out Among Us though. It seems kind of
we should do like a COG like Among Us. That kind of
That would be fun as heck.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think we have enough people on staff to get a decent game going.
Okay. Is it free or how much does it cost?
So it's $5 on Steam or it's
Oh.
free on your phone. From what
Okay.
I understand. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's $5 on Steam. I think. Do they have like a
Can
party pack?
phone
thing?
players and Steam
No.
players play
what is-
together?
that's what I was told. I was
Okay.
told
It-
cross play.
From what I understand, they should be able to because it's basically like a Flash game.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
got
like-
it. Okay.
Very
terms of
minimal
aesthetics.
graphics and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
This came
Yeah.
out in 2018 on Steam.
Yeah, it came out a
Oh,
little
it's
while
been out
ago.
for a
It's just
while.
getting traction right now because people are looking for ways to engage some of their friends who don't play games, right? And like that, it's a
True.
perfect like,
Yeah.
oh, I can walk around really easy. I can attach this cable to this cable, this color, right? Or do
Mhm.
whatever.
Oh, this is the wait. Is this like the alien thing? Like
Yeah,
one of them's an
kinda.
alien?
Yeah, or like a killer or murderer. Or
No, they're
something.
imposters, is what they're
Oh,
called, if I
okay.
believe correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's basically
saw-
Trouble in Terrorist Town, but in space.
Yeah.
I saw a donkey playing this.
Yeah. It's
This looks fun. It's very
Yeah.
fun.
Just get a giant COD staff to do it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Because
Okay.
you need like from what I see, like at least like 7 to 8 people to make it interesting.
Okay.
we're actually got to get game scheduled tomorrow to play it.
Oh wow.
And my friend told me it's like 10 people is like optimal. So
Okay.
hopefully we get a group of 10 together.
Okay, we can probably nestle together 10 people from COG at one time.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Who's buying it?
I'll buy it. I'm gonna buy it for $5. It's $5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I'll buy it on the Steam version, but it's like other
Spend
people
more on
just
my
have to.
coffee.
Yeah, other people just have to use their phones or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they don't want to spend, yeah,
Yeah.
$5.
So.
Yeah, I've
Alright.
seen like different interesting ways to play where like they'll just mute each other when they're like in the gameplay itself and unmute each other when they're in the conferences and whatnot.
Interesting.
Oh, I don't know how it works, but I feel like it'd be fun to like try to like make if you knew you were not a saboteur, point it at someone on it just for fun. Just to
Yeah.
Control people.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right. So that's Cold War and whatnot. Let's move on. Get to Gamescom here. And well, I don't know. It's been kind of disappointing, Gamescom. There's no Elden Ring. There's no Breath of the Wild 2. There's no Metroid Prime 4. Okay. So.
Oh, we knew none of that was coming.
Yeah, I didn't really care. So instead of running through like all of Gamescom and everything, we're just going to cover the biggest announcements. And this article is actually coming to us from us. So I'm going to use an article that was written on to COD to kind of recap
Yeah.
everything. This was written by our writer, was it Joven? Yeah, Joven Newsom. All right, Gamescom 2025 biggest announcements and reveals. I'm just going to go through these real quick, not read the little blurb underneath, because we all kind of know what these are. Dragon Age 4. Game's getting closer and closer to come out.
Yeah, too bad they got this like concept art.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like behind the
that's
scenes.
delicious.
It's like, here's concept art for Dragon Age 4.
It's like cool.
Yeah. But you know,
5 years
the
later.
closer Dragon Age 4 is to coming out, the closer Mass Effect 5 is to coming out, so.
I don't trust any of it anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay, well,
that's reasonable.
That game's not coming back from the dead.
No, they're working on it. It's in the concept
Yeah,
stage.
just like they were working on Metroid.
Working on it. Who's working on it? They
BioWare.
outsourced it. They
BioWare,
probably outsourced it.
probably.
I don't know. Not that like what did BioWare make? What did they make?
Anthem.
Anthem.
Yeah, which is like not great. Actually, doesn't
Well,
even.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, they're working on Dragon Age 4, Mass Effect 5, and Anthem 2.0.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're
Which
working on
one?
all of that right now,
Yeah.
Correct.
and I have no faith because
Yeah,
Correct.
They are currently just completely trying to unfuck their situation over at BioWare right now. Like,
They are throwing it all against the wall.
yeah, they were just like, oh, we didn't fix everything.
Yeah, like Anthem when
Oh, we suck.
Anthem
silent,
probably just
right?
needs to be left dead at this point, to be honest.
Yeah.
No one's
It's
gonna
been
pick
it's
it
been
back
too
up.
long. It's been too
I
long.
mean, I guess they could do like a free-to-play version at the new launch of the consoles.
Yeah.
But if they don't do that, then that they missed it completely. That game was last year too. Is it this year?
No,
Anthem?
2018.
No, it was 2019. It was February 2019.
Wait, that was-
I thought it was last year.
Anthem release date February 22nd, 2019.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
died like a month after, and has been on ice ever since.
Is it on Steam?
Oh, at this point, I don't think so.
Okay.
I know like a
Yeah.
bunch of EA games came to Steam and everything, but I don't think Anthem was one of them because I don't even think you can
No,
buy
it's
Anthem
not.
anymore.
I just want to see the Steam charts. Oh, you can't buy it.
No, you can't.
can't buy
You
it.
can't buy it anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wow, it's
That was
amazing. I was
fun.
just talking about Among Us, and the store featured on Steam started recommending me Among Us.
It's been there since the game popped off.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Because I booted it up and it was there.
Okay. Yeah, it seems fun. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so we're just like completely lukewarm to Dragon Age 4. Like, game's gonna be a total less. No faith in BioWare. Okay.
There is no way to even
It's
tell
gonna
where
be
that
one of those
game's
games that it just gets Game of the Year for like no reason, just like
Just
Dragon
like
Age 3.
Just like
Inquisition.
Inquisition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, did a couple of
Dragon Age
outlets that were
Inquisition.
just like really big Dragon Age fans, just like give it Game of the Year. It's just like okay, yeah.
No, it's just like nothing else came out that
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, Inquisition had like Far Cry 4 or something up against it, where you're like,
Yeah.
these are
Yeah,
both
it was like that was it.
good
supposed-
games, but they're not that good.
When did that come out? Hold on. That came out in 2014. Let's see.
yeah.
No, we've had this conversation before. I'm not going to go over this.
We've
again.
had it before.
Yeah, we've had it a few times, I think. We're like comparing what games came out in 2014 to Inquisition. And just
Nothing
like,
came
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
Nada.
Yeah, nay, nothing.
I mean,
okay.
maybe some good indie games, but probably should have deserved to win it for it.
Right.
You said 2014, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Good
next
lord.
is World of Warcraft Shadowlands got a release date announced. So we got two new like sort of trailers. We got the official release date trailer, which is more of your straight game trailer and everything. We also got this thing called Afterlives or whatever, which is like Blizzard has gotten into like these little animated shorts to explain like backstories before each expansion of like relevant
Oh.
characters and whatnot. They did the same thing with the Battle for Azeroth, which is the current expansion that we're on right now. Anyway, so they're doing that for this time around, also for Shadowlands. But yeah, Shadowlands is going to release on October 27th, 2020, which is a little bit later than usual. Like the past two expansions, they've usually targeted the late August release date. Yeah, so you'd imagine, you know, with everything going on, things got delayed a little bit, which is fine and everything. Like Blizzard has launched a expansion in December before, and it's been fine. But typically, the past, you know, two times around since 2016, usually hit that late August thing. In a perfect world, it's like it would be on Shadowlands right now, like it would already be out. But yeah, so
Are you
It's a
excited
good-
for it now?
I have no, honestly.
You haven't been cited for a while since the pandas.
I know exactly.
What's
I
the
know.
panda one called?
Miss the Panda area. And that was
Wow,
before
that's-
I was like a weeaboo, like into Asian stuff and whatnot. It was like actually for its like WoW at the time, it was just like legitimately peaked at this in terms of like gameplay and casualness and everything mixed together and whatnot, stuff like that. All the systems in place. Yeah.
This is
so-
for the classic like one, right? Too?
No, this is for release.
Wait,
This is for retail WoW, like modern WoW.
I thought that already came out. No, is that my dumb?
Shadowlands? No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's
It
just a
comes
brand
out
new
in
thing
October.
completely.
Yeah, it comes out in
Oh, wow.
October.
Oh, okay. I for some reason feel like I've heard Shadowlands before.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it like an area, something named after that in the game?
It's like another realm.
Okay. I
There's
know
no
it's been
area.
talked about before.
Yeah, there's no like Shadowlands area in game right now, but
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a realm. It's the realm of death in WoW.
Sounds cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Just another world-ending scenario.
Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So it's like it looks like they've definitely improved like the gameplay in WoW and everything, like over Battle for Azeroth, which is
Couldn't go much worse than that.
yeah, exactly. But like the writing just seems like it's taking a dump right now. So
I mean,
I gotta give it
Blizzard
up.
is so far gone
Yeah.
at this point.
I gotta give it up though. World of Warcraft's still going. That's pretty impressive.
yeah, it will continue to still go.
That's
So
pretty
they've been super good about like adding lore bits throughout the year and everything, where it's like there are so many like mechanics that exist in the storyline for WoW at this point that it can theoretically never end.
Did it come out in 2001? When did that game come out?
2004. Well, okay, so it's like World of Warcraft continued like the story that was set up by the Warcraft RTS games back in like the early 90s too. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so moving along to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart extended demo. Got another look at that, which is apparently pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
I thought it was the same demo we already saw.
Was
but
it? Okay.
It was very, very similar. Maybe a little bit.
Could be hence the term extended, I guess, in that situation.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. It was the same thing we've seen. I heard the 4K version looks very good. So if you have 4K monitor,
Yeah.
I guess watch it in 4K because apparently it looks fantastic.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Fall Guys is getting a season 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Already?
Yeah. They need to have it already though. That's the
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, the game's starting to go down in terms of trend,
yeah.
and it's like from what I can tell, it's pretty common among the community to think that the team-based games are absolutely garbage.
Okay.
So I used to be one of those people, and then I've embraced the team games because I just don't care anymore about winning.
Fair enough. Okay.
It's like,
Goddamn.
hey, did you
But
want to
isn't
win?
that the name of the game?
You know what? I've kind of transitioned just to griefing in general. Like my
Just
my
holding
main-
people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I have to I try to grief and win at the same time, and usually the griefing ends in my death.
That's the way to do it.
So, but the new one looks interesting. They kind of taken on like the castle motif. So like of like
Yeah.
Takeshi's
Yeah, but
castle.
that's not the same.
Whoa. Why do we have tits on the site?
What?
We have tits on the site.
Ticks?
Outside.
Tits. Like a woman's
Okay.
chest.
Oh,
It's in an
okay.
advertisement. It's
I
like
think you're
It's
looking
an
at something
advertisement.
else.
no, it's in like an advertisement that we have on the site. And it's just
Oh,
like
I have
You do realize
it-
that shows your previous history, right? Like whatever.
no, it's like one of those clickbait It's like one of those clickbait article things. Hold on.
I have ad blocker.
Taylor.
It's not showing up for me.
Hold on. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Hold on.
How do I
I support the website, so I do not enable ad blocker.
Exactly,
like none of you
right?
should.
how do I turn my ad blocker up? Oh, okay.
See the little stop sign there?
Oh no, it's a different one. Because that one
Oh,
sucks.
yeah.
Let,
something
let me just
different.
do a fat
I usually
fat
block
drop
these
onto
better.
Imgur really quick.
Imgur?
Yeah, Imgur, whatever the hell.
It's Imgur.
Imgur.
Like GIF.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell.
Yeah.
I don't know how to unmute this, so
The ads that you see are
No, it's
equivalent
like
to your
it's one of those just like panels. It's not like a porn ad or anything, but like, hold on.
Sure.
No, I'm literally about to post it.
I like how we're having this discussion live.
Look, all I'm seeing is Ocean Spray Cranberry Classic Fruit Juice.
wait, how do I disable this?
That's
I
an
need to
ad.
know.
So if you look at the Imgur, that's like an ad panel, and it's just like on one of the ads, it's like you can see pretty much through that girl's dress on the top left.
What am I looking at?
Wait, what?
What are we supposed to be looking at?
Did
Where'd
you put it in the
post this?
chat?
Where did you put
It's-
it?
Deviant.
Yes.
Oh, you put
Oh,
it...
that's not
okay.
even that bad.
I know. I know.
Okay.
Where? I'm so confused.
In the chat.
You know what's funny? I have the same, like 5 out of the 6 are the exact same on my side for some reason, minus the bottom left one. Or bottom
You
middle
see,
one.
Matt, it's based on your browsing history.
It
No, I
is.
just laughed at that. No, it's... Eh.
I don't know how to unblock.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
why would I want to look at Albert?
Yeah. Okay. Going back to Gamescom, getting back on topic here. Looks like the last big announcement was Doom Eternal: Ancient Gods Part 1. Looks like DLC for Doom Eternal. DLC expansion. Looks pretty sizable.
It does, yeah.
Okay. Anybody
I'm
excited
kinda-
for this? I guess, like, more Doom is more Doom, and it's always a good day when you get more Doom.
I still
I
got
mean,
the
Yeah, it
original.
looks
Doom
solid.
Eternal, at this rate, Doom Eternal is definitely one game of the year,
Okay.
in my opinion.
I still can't believe that game came out earlier this year.
That is pretty wild.
Alright.
Like, actually.
When you could go outside whenever you want.
March. It's a really good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do, like what this DLC does. It's free to play, right? Like you don't have to pay extra for it.
The expansion,
I
I
have
couldn't
no
tell
idea.
you.
Oh no, it's not free to play.
I thought they said they were doing like free story DLC.
I don't think so.
I don't think so
Something,
either.
something. This isn't story.
Yeah.
This is only a gameplay expansion. God, it's not story related. Okay.
Well, hi,
All right. So, anybody want to bring up anything else from Gamescom, or are we about good?
Hi, Bunny.
Basically, nothing else happened.
Okay. Like, this is the 5 hypest shit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just rattled
Yeah,
off.
I'm not editing this episode at all. And the
Okay.
amount
I
of,
know. And I've been like censoring myself on that. I was just waiting for you to say something.
I don't care.
All right. Yeah, okay.
What?
We're past the point of caring,
Okay.
honestly. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah. See what happens.
Yeah. Okay. So, Anthony, what games are coming out this next week then?
Depressing stuff.
Oh.
4 games. This week.
Woo! Okay.
Hey, that's more than some weeks we've had in the past couple of months.
Yeah.
Very true. Necromunda, Underhive Wars is going to PC.
What?
What's phone ringing?
What? Okay.
That's what it's called. Underhive Wars is going to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on September the 8th. We have Star Renegades, which is going to PC also on September the 8th. Now, I actually played this way back when on PS3. Kingdoms of Amalur. I think it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Re-Reckoning, so it's basically a remake of the old game.
Okay.
PC, PS4, and Xbox One on September the 8th. That was a really good RPG.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to Dragon Age.
Okay. Dragon Age, but good.
Ah, game of the year worthy is what you're telling me.
And it won Game of the Year. Like,
Oh,
wow.
yeah. Okay. I try to remember that a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, when it first came out, it won Game of the Year. And Internal Drift is going to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on September the 11th. And that's it. Whoop-de-doo. Yay. Hooray.
Woo. Okay. All right. Matt, where can people find you on Twitter?
Twitter, simple. At filmed by G-Man.
What's the other thing you want to shill for, though?
As always. So, for those who are unaware, Culture of Gaming does have an affiliated YouTube channel that is based around tech stuff, known as Tech for Thought, and it's hosted by me and Ty Lambs here. We, have a good time with that, enjoying some shenanigans. If you want a link for that where you can subscribe, it's super easy. You'll find that in the chat right about now. There it is. But yeah, we've been more consistent in terms of upload. I know we took this past week off and for uploading some videos, but I think we kind of need a little bit of break. And I know the NVIDIA event was around the middle of the week, so it was more awkward in terms of timing for videos. Yeah. But hopefully we get back on that.
Okay.
Nice.
Did you already say the Twitter?
The Twitter?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Do we even post on the Twitter? The Twitter's at tech_4, the number 4, _thought.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Andrew, how about yourself?
Yeah, you guys can find me Twitter, Instagram, at Duronsky, DURONSKI. Also on Twitch, been streaming a little bit. I try to probably stream this weekend, maybe do some more Tony Hawk or some Mortal Shell finally. That'll force me to play that game. So, yeah, gonna probably stream one of those. Maybe tonight. Probably tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
Nice.
And Anthony, not Andrew, but Anthony, how about yourself?
Nice. I'll try and get through this without coughing because for some reason I need to cough. I am at SoMantman19. I barely post at all. I usually just cite social media stuff, so if you're wanting to get in contact with me, you can do so through Twitter, Facebook, whatever. With the site.
Okay.
The Cog Network.
All right.
Yes.
Awesome.
Right on.
You can find me on Twitter at Inferius7809. That is at INFERIUS7809. I've been shilling for NVIDIA lately for the contest to win a new graphics card that we talked about earlier. So, apologies for the
that would be awesome.
apologies for the shilling, but it is mostly tech and anime stuff over there. So go check it out there. So yeah. Anyway, we'll wrap it up for the show this week. Tune in on twitch.tv/cultureofgaming on 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time next week, where we'll bring you all the latest gaming news and whatnot from that way. So same time, same place, same channel, etc. Hope to see you all there, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya.